221. Okay, 221 is, what 3 important things have you learned from previous relationships? This is, unsurprisingly, from the relationship category.
Wow.
So while you ruminate on that, would anybody for a recap inspiration, a DM inspiration, blah, blah, blah. Oh, mechanical thing. And I suggest, Dom, I suggest we try this for Pathfinder too. If you are making a secret check, you definitely want to just give yourself advantage on the secret check, because then the DM never has to be like, well, you might want to re-roll it, baby. Oh no. So I'm thinking about changing it that anything's a secret check. Best I can give you on any secret rolls is you can give yourself advantage with a inspiration before the roll. But then I'm gonna do the same thing in Pathfinder, where you can spend a hero point before you make a secret roll to give yourself advantage, because they secretly have advantage and disadvantage in Pathfinder. You just click a little box or whatever. I think that's gonna be like how I handle it moving forward. But then you never have to be like, well, maybe.
Perfect.
I think I'll do that for things where you can get wrong information.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, in Pathfinder, that's kind of like
Pathfinder.
That's kind of fucking everything, but yeah. All right. Oh, and plus, like, the things where they're like, store this number for later, and later could be like 30 sessions from now. I love those a lot. Like, yeah, the player character makes a forgery. Go ahead and record the forgery value now, and then for the rest of the forgery's life, that's the number that's registered to that forgery. But never let the player know what the forgery number is. I mean, cool in concept, but yeah. All right. So while you think about that, does anybody want to give me a recap of what happened last week? It was some interesting stuff. Could definitely benefit from a recap. If you're interested, roll d20 in the chat. We got 10 from Julian. Going once. Going twice. All right, Julian. What happened?
So previously on Mythic Odyssey, we found ourselves faced with a dilemma. Do we kill ourselves? Do we subject ourselves to the whims of Kronos, the father of time? We find some third option, and we opted to, in true hot fashion, kill ourselves while giving old Father Time the bird. After we committed mass suicide, we found ourselves in some very well-maintained gardens, greeted by Hades, who explained to us that Kronos was concerned about his longevity, his wellness, and was jealous of his children, so he consumed them. They did manage to get themselves out, imprisoned Kronos, and Kronos' children, with the exception of Thylea, gave themselves roles within their realm. Hades took over, saw the underworld, and it seems much better organized comparatively than what Lutheria's got going on. But it may be a matter of how he handles himself. He brings order out of chaos, while Lutheria embraces the chaos and makes more chaos. Thylea broke away and created her own realm. Of course, that has led us to this point. We were able to be sent back to our own plane of existence, but approximately 1,800 years in the future.
800.
800, excuse me. 800 years in the future. 888 years in the future. I don't know where the extra 1,000 came from. Anyway, Poseidon won the fight because we went out there. It was confirmed that Halcyon did sacrifice herself. We're not quite sure where her spark went to, but the remaining children of Sidon took over various roles in the land, and it seems that peace reigns. Mitros was turned into new Praxis, and humans are at best second-class citizens, at worst slaves. The more of the settler races are ones of control, peace and prosperity seems to reign, and we are trying to navigate the. By pretending to be mercenaries, we aren't given too much scrutiny, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that Andronikos is in our party, and Tritons are, of course, part of the races that are favored by Sidon. It does seem that the Indigo Isles were subjugated, or the elves did leave through their back door, escape route, and Themis, the island of Themis, it seems to be a lone holdout against the forces of Sidon, and has been so for the last 800 years, which either speaks to the ferocity of its denizens, or to in part the leadership that Maya was able to instill in her followers and those she left in charge. Andronikos is wrapping up dinner with perhaps some dessert and some hot coffee, depending on how he wishes to pursue that, in an effort to gain access to the forbidden section of the Academy library, so we can try and figure out more about the environment, more about time spells, while the rest of us are basically eating by the dumpster. And we do have the option to ask those we are dining with, the blue collar, if you will, one question. We have not reached a consensus on that yet.
All right, fair enough. Take your recap spiration. Would anybody like to answer the question?
Very important things you learn. Previous relationship. That's like a multi-tiered question right there.
All right, going once, going twice. All right, Andronikos. This guy over here.
Androgynous. What does he learn from previous relationships?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So from the relationship with his wife, he learned that he could be more than just important by association. And as a famous athlete, like he learned that there was more to himself than his family and his career. He sort of grew into a fuller person. From his relationship with Tychon, he learned that he was more than just his parents, and that he could be his own person. And from his relationship with Halise, he learned that even with all of that gone, he is still who he has always tried to make himself.
Dang. All right, that's good. Some good. Oh man. All right. You've asked the same question of any willing PC or any NPC that you've met during the campaign.
Will this be answered from the point of view of the crazy world that we're in
yes.
right now? What is Lutheria?
Dang, what has Lutheria learned? Well, for starters, don't lend your scythe out to strangers. That's not a good move.
We're not strangers, we're family.
I mean, I definitely was, because she doesn't ever remember who I am.
What else? It's that the best laid plans can do nothing to avoid the threads of fate. And she learned that from her relationship with the fates and what has transpired in this timeline. That's no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, all are bound by the threads of fate. And to try to deviate from that, it's just going to bring about your fate in a worse way than you anticipated. So, yeah. Oh, she also learned from her kids that if you treat your kids bad and then they're given a chance to treat you bad, they're probably going to treat you bad. So maybe try to treat your kids better, I guess. Yup. All right. On those happy notes, let's get to it. Let's see. Give Andronicus this factspiration. Go ahead and change out your music here, and we'll hop to it. So, what question did you want to ask the blue collars
We'll
of the
hop
world?
to it, eh?
Oh, buddy. All right. Hey, we can't afford her $30,000 to get her to come play D&D with us. I couldn't do it. We don't even have tier 3 Discord server anymore. How could I possibly afford to get Hawk Tua to come play D&D with us? Anyways.
No, I said hop to it.
Oh, sorry, I got Hawk Tua on the mind.
Long day.
Come on, get your mind out of the gutter. That's my job.
Fair. Okay. Wait, did something she do have to do with the gutter? I thought she was some kind of like positivity like speaker. Is that I should probably actually look these people up. All right. Anyways, let me grab some music. What is the question you're gonna ask the blue collars of this world?
I'm all for the one that was posted in Discord. Just have an idea of what their life is like here.
Day-to-day life of humans.
Yeah.
The everyday life of a human living in New Praxis. All right. Well, the humans understand that they are strangers in this land, and it will never truly be a home to them. Their ancestors tried and failed. In fact, the great city of New Praxis is built on the ruins of a city once called Mitros. Their hubris in thinking themselves better than the Titans, better than Thylea herself, led to divine punishment. The false gods they had put so much faith in failed them. The king at the time, whom the people loved, proved to be nothing more than a coward and a buffoon. And the heroes of prophecy abandoned them when they were needed most. With such a bleak, hopeless history, they are grateful for the lives that they are allowed to have. Living as second, third, fourth class citizens, many, if not more than that, as slaves. They are still treated with some decency, and they are given a chance through piety and deeds to rise above their normal station. Every once in a while, a human or human adjacent settler race might rise to some small measure of prominence through great, skill, deeds, etc. As you talk to them, this is a culture that has been conditioned to accept their ancestors' shortcomings and failures. You are familiar with this attitude, for sadly, it is the attitude of many of the sirens in the age you came from. where they sort of are like, we have no home, we have no culture, we have no people, because we had the audacity to insult the gods, and we were smited and cursed for it. They just kind of have that sort of like, this is our lot in life, and we should be thankful that we even have a life at all, for we do not belong here. We are other.
I guess a question:
That's
have we
rough.
seen any sirens in the city?
Have you seen sirens in the city?
Harpies.
You have seen harpies, but the more monstrous
Yeah.
forms. But you have not seen any of the beautiful angelic sirens. You know that they are not favored by Sidon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of the gist. Is like,
So
what more could we expect? Our ancestors were fools, cowards, and losers.
so the humans know about the hero's prophecy. It wasn't stricken from them. Like they're keeping the even though they feel like they understand that they were abandoned. That's what they believe.
Yeah.
They recognize that the hero's prophecy existed.
Oh yeah. They know that the heroes at the time um abandoned the people in their greatest time of need.
Okay.
Yep. That might be their oral tradition. Is that we had heroes once, we had gods once, and we had a great king once, and all three failed us.
Rough out there.
And if you think about it, like anyone that would have had any kind of will to resist, they would have been killed either in the fight or they would have been culled from the population. So if you've got nothing but broken people and keep them subjugated, this is what we get.
Okay.
Oh yeah, like they have no education or anything like that. No access to education. They're all like service personnel. They're all, like it's a slave class, or slave caste, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um. All right then. We definitely need to get back to our time then.
If they were like, yeah, it's all good, homie, were you guys gonna be like, well, I guess we'll roll credits. It's
We'll
okay.
just stay here.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, the reason Julian was trying to figure that out is because not so much where we went wrong, because anything we learn about now is going to change when we go back, hopefully.
Mm.
So anything we learn about is going to might be helpful at best, could be deceiving, at worst. But, if it proved necessary to start some shit to be able to access what we needed to get back, seeing if there are
Mm.
potential allies, but that is not an option.
Got it. Okay.
Our only option is head to Lotus and see if we can get access to the island time, so that we can get back to our time.
We need a boat.
No,
Assuming we don't find anything.
we don't need a boat. I could trace
the
Stratos.
library.
You guys let me know when you're ready, and we'll get going.
Okay. Well, let's see. Andronicus, are you staying the night at these ladies' home, and then trying to meet up with the party in the morning? Do you guys have a meetup plan, or are you just sort of lost to them?
I mean,
We're all in the network, so
yeah, I'm.
Oh, right. Fair. Okay.
I
All right.
assume that I'm sort of.
High level D&D. My bad. Yeah. So, Andronicus, do you inform them that you're gonna need some time?
Uh, I can I can always sort of make an excuse and leave, but that just seems rude. And
Well, no. I mean, Andronicus, accept the hospitality. I mean,
You don't worry
if
about
I
us.
had the opportunity.
okay, I think
We're
I'll
good.
be
We're playing
accepting-
cards.
I'll be accepting hospitality for quite some time, Julian. If
Oh, good, because if you were
Mm.
going to be, a two-pop shop, I'd be worried that you didn't do it properly for my mother.
Hmm.
Wow. That's
It's,
an awkward conversation.
It's your deal, Julian. And one passing the cards
Andronicus
by the
starts describing
dumpsters.
in vivid detail exactly what I did to hit. No.
La, 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 la. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. La 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 la.
Wonderful. Okay, so evening sets in, and the crew, the people that you're hanging out with, they're called back to their homes or their communal hostels and work camps and things like that. Some of the ones that you've befriended, they say, friend, where will you be going, if you do not mind us asking?
Orin glances over to a manhole cover.
Ah, wait. You are of the free folk of the sewers?
No, we just moonlight occasionally when the old captain gets into his cups or is entertaining guests.
Oh, all right. I thought perhaps. No, never mind. And some of the other workers are kind of looking at this guy like, "Don't say anything. Don't say anything."
But if you've got somewhere that you're going to, you've got extra beds, extra stack of hay, maybe.
Yes. We do. We stay at the local work hostel. Each of us that you have met has purchased their freedom. But there are few opportunities to purchase property, so we stay in a communal home.
Want to look around to the others. It's
Okay,
sewers or this,
I
he
mean-
thinks.
I wouldn't mind sleeping in a bed or something close to it.
All right, we'll tag along then.
Mm.
He
All
glances
right.
back
I mean,
towards
for a
the.
bit, but I mean, can't we duck out after? Explore these free folk of the sewers? These could be potential allies.
Let's go and get settled first, and then we can decide whether or not we want to head down below.
All right, so I'm just trying to, explore options.
Yeah, I mean, once we make it back to the hostel, how much are they charging?
Yeah.
So it would be. We'll just say everything breaks even from your winnings and losses of rolling at dice and such with the workers.
Or nods the attendant, says that he'll cover it. He gestures towards Julian.
Now, Julian, this is very awkward for some of these people because you are the most beautiful man any of them have ever seen. Which we established last week, the drop in beautiful people since your disappearance. You do draw attention to yourself everywhere you go.
So it's like everyone's paying attention to me, or
Well, it's one of those things surely you've been out someplace and there's just somebody that's like so breathtakingly beautiful that like everyone's sort of just like, they keep looking over,
Okay.
yeah. But worse, it's like one of them, Diet Coke commercials, right? Where you go into like,
God.
yeah. All the people are rushing to the window because you decided to like, take off your shirt and drink a Diet Coke. It's like that kind of situation.
The riding stops.
Yeah. People riding a bicycle, named after the famous human inventor Bicycles. They like crash their bicycles as they ride by because, like, you're just so handsome. There's shit like that. So.
Okay. So what I'll
Just
do,
like real life,
yeah.
bro. Just like real life. Just kind of pull from the everyday. So.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I've heard about
Um,
your liability insurance. It's insanely high. That's fine. Keep going. Keep going.
what Julian will do because I mean, with the exception of the temple, it would seem that there aren't gods around with true sight.
Mhm.
So what Julian will do is he'll just cast invisibility on himself, and he'll over the network tell everyone, "Let me just cast invisibility. Um, I'll just step away so I don't draw too much attention." And Julian would also like to steal some wine in the
Mm-hmm.
process
Okay.
to bring back to the hostel, to the
Oh,
communal
okay.
home.
Like out in the city, steal some wine. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this ain't Pathfinder, so the wine merchants didn't level up with you guys. So, like, you're a pretty high level guy. You could easily bamboozle some wine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to bamboozle some wine so that we
Mhm.
can get some more information out of our hosts as far as the free folk of the sewers.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah, you go and you grab the wine. While you're gone, they kind of show you the digs, as it were. I don't know if you guys have stayed in hostels before or anything like that, but just a big open room. There's like a shared like restroom facility kind of area at one end, and there are beds, bunk beds, but there are so many people here that many are doubling up or simply just finding a good place, good dry place, I should say, on the floor. From what you can tell, these people own the clothes on their backs and then essentially like a satchel or messenger bag esque thing that they keep their worldly belongings in. They have very little. But you also understand that anyone staying here is technically free, because slaves would be expected to stay at their master's property or, on the property, et cetera, et cetera. Mm. All right. You also notice, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but they do have a shrine to Sidon here, as well as Sidon's children and mother and father, and the people here do offer prayers to these gods.
Mile will try and find a spot near the Thylea shrine.
Mm. Yes. As you do you attempt to commune with your deity?
Uh, uh, she'll probably like wait a bit
Okay.
until there's like a moment where maybe things have calmed down a bit, and then yeah.
Okay. Are you casting the commune spell, or are you just sort of praying?
I don't have the commune spell, so just praying.
What? Druids don't get commune? That don't make no sense. Aren't you
We
guys
have
divine?
we have commune. No, we're not divine. We have commune with nature, but that's a different. That's a
Oh,
different.
okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So you kind of pray to her. Can you give me a secret religion check?
All right.
This would be wisdom based. Okay. Um, you sense the presence of your goddess, um, which strangely you had felt an absence of since arriving. It's almost like you were off the Wi-Fi network and now you're back on it again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you feel unease.
Okay. Um, is there any way I can like get an insight on what that unease might be, like the flavor of unease?
Yeah. Give me an insight check. Yes, it is not your unease, but Thylea's unease at your return.
Okay. I guess in feeling that unease, I would I'll go ahead and now that I'm kind of on the connected, I will on my in my head, and hopefully she can hear this, is give her the kind of an update on what has happened and the talk that I had with Hades.
Mm.
I won't mention Cronus by name at all, though. I'll just say him, or never mentioning his name.
Mm. Okay. You offer up your prayers, but that feeling of unease does not change.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Julian, you return with several clay jugs of low grade, easy to steal wine. But but you have a lot of it.
That is all going according to plan. I will set up court, as it were, and offer wine to those that we met at supper, and anyone else that um, wishes to partake.
Oh yeah,
As a way of
the
saying
people are
thank
definitely the people are definitely happy. Some of them are a little nervous about the wine because it feels like a great opulence for you to have so much wine and to share it with them. You could give me a performance or a persuasion to try and kind of give them the confidence that they are lacking.
you.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. They sort of put their fears aside and decide that for tonight, they will accept such a generous and opportune gift, and they will make hearty and enjoy.
Excellent.
All right. As you ply them with wine, they do pour out wine for Great Galaron. And they become a bit more loose-lipped. You could certainly try to ask additional questions.
All right. Julian will make it a point to serve the wine, and he will pay close attention to see what the customs are 800 years in the future, and he will also follow suit to blend in a little bit more. And after we're several bowls in, and Julian will make it a point to drink his slowly. He may feign drinking, so he can maintain his head, while everyone else is you know getting a little shitty faced.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll say, you mentioned in passing at the restaurant, um, there was there was people living in the sewers. I mean, what a shitty place to live. That sounds terrible.
Mm-hmm. You may attempt another persuasion check. This one will be an advantage against a lower DC.
Okay. I mean, has life gotten so difficult for them that they're relegated to living in the sewers? I mean, do tell.
Okay, so yeah, so one of the men says, "It is hard to believe that you have come this far and not heard of the Lord of Filth."
The Lord of Filth.
Yeah, and the room gets real quiet. And he
So,
says, "Yes, it is he is a mighty man of heroic proportion. He said he dwells in the sewers, and there he and his followers, they strike out against any who would bring too much harm to any slave or settler. Some say he is not one man, but a title passed down from one man to the next, perhaps father and son, perhaps those who are worthy. But the Lord of Filth, many think, is the reason we are not simply eaten alive by some of the more monstrous beings within the city and without. And then one kind of wizened old woman says, "These are just stories. There is no truth to this Lord of Filth. I have served in this city for 80 years. Never have I seen the Lord of Filth. I have seen a giant turtle, though." And then somebody says, "Oh, not this again. There is no turtles in the sewer." And she says, "I've seen them. They are down there, and they practice the Eurasian martial arts." And then they say, "Come, come, great matter. You have had too much wine. You're overexcited again, talking about your turtles in the sewer." As they escort her away, the guy looks at you and he says, "Ignore her. I know it is true. I saw him once as a boy. He is called the Lord of Filth, and he is dirty. But," he blushed a little bit, "up until I met this man here," he motions to you, Julian, "I had never seen, before or after, a man of such beauty. His hair was filthy, as was his beard, but so fluffy."
Was his body fluffy? Like, did he have like a dad bod thing going on?
No, he was possessed of heroic proportions, like the Titans themselves, but with only 2 arms and 2 eyes. And you get the sense that, and then thinking about the art that you've seen, the Titans and the Titan kids are all depicted with 4 arms and 3 eyes. Not the 6 that is standard for Geigen, but not the 2 that you're probably used to them being depicted with in settler lands.
They have a nice middle ground.
I was thinking the same thing. So this Lord of Filth, I mean, that you saw as a lad, is surely not mad at this point. So his son, presumably, as you said, would take up the mantle. I mean, this seems like a no offense, but it seems like a bedtime story.
I could see how you would feel that way. But my friend, I am telling you, when I was a small boy, I was the slave of a cruel master. The son of the house, he had a favorite toy, a golden ball. This ball was heavy, and he would use it to play at pins. Such a ball, it could buy for each and every person here our own home by the sea. The boy was cruel and reckless, and the ball, well, it went under the fence. A hole had formed. It rolled into the street and down into the sewers. None of the working men would go down, and I was small and skinny then. They made me go after it. I was frightened, for it is said that the Mad Queen, Valis, built a dungeon under the city called the sewers. None know what purpose it serves. Only that she would put her most hated enemies and prisoners down there, where they would wander an endless labyrinth until they died of fear, starvation, or in the belly of some beast. You must understand, I was terrified. But I knew what a terrible beating would wait for me if I did not. And so I went. I looked everywhere for the ball, and when I finally found it, I had lost my way. And then I was beset by creatures. I thought my life had ended. But there he was, wielded spear. He slew the beasts, and he handed me back the ball, a king's fortune, and he led me back to the surface. I did catch a beating, for I was gone many hours, but not so bad, because I did retrieve the ball. I will never forget. I will never stop being thankful. There have been times in my life where my greatest motivation to purchase my own freedom, was to join him in his cause. But by the time I could afford to be free, my fighting days were behind me. What good would an old man be? Such noble pursuits.
And you say he also ranges out beyond the sewers, beyond the city. I mean, that seems highly unlikely.
Well, we do not receive news of the other settlements. There are rumors that the conditions outside of New Praxis for settler races are less than ideal.
I see.
Many have tried to escape and make the journey through the old wood along the coast to the lands that were once Aricia, to take refuge in the shadows, as it were. But I have never heard from any who have fled. I would not know if they made it, or even what fate awaits them.
Interesting. A curiosity. It's not so often that we come across such believable folk tales in our travels. I must say that's been quite entertaining.
Mm. I am pleased that I could tell my story and bring you some measure of joy. As you have brought so many joy this night, for a man truly knows he is free when he can stay up late and drink to his heart's content.
I'm happy I could provide that to all of you, as you were generous enough to let complete strangers into your homes. We greatly appreciate it.
Nonsense. We are all outsiders, and in that otherness, we are one.
I like that. In otherness, we are one. Cheers. And I'll clink balls with it.
All right.
Or will take over the SIBO network. So we're going to the sewers then.
I think it'd be worth checking out,
All right.
especially since we're going to have a lot of time on our hands. I suspect Andronicus is going to view the whole
You could just say yes. We're going into the sewers.
What? I'm just saying, we will have time to kill.
All right, let's get going then.
All right. So you guys slip away at a certain point, on the pretense of getting some fresh air, et cetera, and find a sewer entrance.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
and a nice manhole.
Actually, after that,
None
Oh.
know why the Mad Queen Valis built the sewers. Only rumors and speculation, myths and legends. It
so
wouldn't really make
because
sense to have sewers. They have a perfect
Yeah.
aqueduct system. Yeah.
with what that older lady said about the turtles, um, Julian would suggest over the network that we possibly check in with the turtles that Orn met and see if they might be able to make an introduction or be able to point us in the right direction.
You're referring to the heroes in the 3/4 shells.
Yes.
Orin, without keen mind, I will need you to make a pretty high DC history check to remember exactly where you found them or they found you. And then remember, they led you through the cities after that, or through the sewers after that.
No, we'll have them come to us. We gotta find a late night pizza shop.
All right.
Alright.
Sounds like a plan.
You got any more of that wine for bartering?
I don't, but I'm sure I could get some more.
Well,
At
actually,
this late hour, it is unlikely to find a pizza place still open. However, you could dumpster dive for any leftover pizza that may have been thrown out.
that'll work too. Yeah, that pandemic a couple of years back really destroyed all the late night pizza places in New Praxis, I hear.
As you approach the back of the restaurant, the cheesy flatbread place, there's a rustling in the trash area, and you see several large raccoons, each with 4 arms. Maya, you can give me a nature check.
They've got
Okay.
4 arms. Like separate from their legs? Like how many limbs are we talking here?
Well, first of all, a raccoon only has 2 legs and has 2 arms, so these have 2 legs and 4 arms.
How many
Maya,
thumbs are we working with?
you recognize these raccoons. They are indigenous to the Isle of Yonder, and apparently they rode over here on a boat. That's what you're thinking, or their ancestors did. It's unlikely that anybody would have willingly brought such pestilence to their city. They are very intelligent, rodent-esque creatures, but they are capable of some savaging domestic animals pretty badly if they challenge them for food or territory. They have evolved to live alongside civilization, but in the least pleasant ways.
All right, Maya will kind of whisper like over the network, fill everybody in on what these
Mm.
things are.
Like an Attenborough narration from the shadow.
You know this creature is known as Raccoon.
And you said they were intelligent, right? Do they
Yes.
intelligent enough to speak, or
I mean, speak with animals, but
okay?
Do they like wine?
they do. They have a weakness for alcohol and
Perfect.
shiny objects.
Julian, see if you can trade some wine for what's left of a pizza.
Would I have had an opportunity to procure some additional wine, or because I don't think I would have brought wine with us?
Yeah, I would say no, because it sounded like you were getting it to feed a whole building worth of people. So I was,
I'm not about to be take it back from them. So
I don't have
Okay.
speak with animals prepped. So turn to I brought in a network and say they're normal, usually sort of a pest, but I feel like if we were to, they are kind of aggressive when it comes to challenging them for food. So you could try and scare them away, or we can just mind our own business.
We're not going to
You
find the
said they
portals.
like shiny things. I mean, in this day and age, where drachmae aren't very useful. I do have some gold on me. We could barter, work something out with them.
Well, I mean, how are we going to speak to them?
Pantomime.
Okay.
All right, take it away, Julian.
We're all Scooby-Dooing from the edge of the alleyway, watching, stacked up, watching Julian advance to the alleyway with his bag of gold.
Julian will pick out like 5 pieces of gold, like enough to so you jingle it in your hand, so it makes a noise,
Okay.
and he'll approach slowly, kind of be mindful of his.
All right,
I'm
as
just
you get
saw the
closer, you realize that these are the size of human children.
I'll think back over that. Like, this may have been ill-advised. They're
Okay, come back, Julian.
quite large.
Come back.
No, let him cook.
No,
He's
come
got.
back.
He can do this.
Come back, Julian. Come back. Hand me the coin.
All right, and I will not turn my back on them, and I'll back my way down the alley, and then give the 5 drachmae to Maya.
Yeah, don't turn your back to them. That'll activate their prey drive.
That's what
All
I
right.
was thinking. They're awfully big. I mean, they're
All right.
taller than SIBO. Jeez.
They are taller than Sibo.
Alrighty. And you say they're dumpster diving right now, right?
Yeah, there's only 3 of them that you can see. And one of them is sort of standing watch. That's the one that's kind of staring you guys down. And then you occasionally see the other 2, and you hear them rummaging through the refuse bin. You
And
watch Maya as one of them emerges, victoriously holding the paper box that a cheesy flatbread would be given to someone if they were taking it away from the restaurant.
Quick, Maya.
Okay.
I've got the prize.
They haven't invented delivery, I guess, in 888 years.
Maya's gonna turn around and there was this. Why are we getting this?
So we can summon the
anyway?
turtles.
They apparently love cheesy flatbread.
It's the easiest way to find them, Maya. I'm not making a history check.
Okay. All right.
All right. It looks at you, wondering what move you're planning to make. It seems to be on edge.
Right. Maya will find.
I just see a blank square.
Sibo says, "What if we just killed them?"
No.
Maya's okay.
Maya's just gonna kind of like where is it? Hold on.
This is more interesting, Sibo.
Okay. Yeah, Maya's gonna walk up to them with the coins, kind of like put one up in the air and then kind of like move it left and then move it right.
Sure.
Make sure she sees the one that's holding the pizza, sees it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then hold it up, bring it down, and then toss it behind them.
Okay. All right, give me a nature check. You can roll it publicly because we'll know if you succeed or not.
You're viciously mauled.
It automatically goes hidden anyway, so.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Yes. They all rush after the shiny foreign objects, temporarily leaving the pizza unattended.
Quick, Maya, grab it. Make sure it's still in the box.
All right, Maya walks up and runs up and grabs it.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Orin will prop the manhole cover up. Let's get out of here.
All right. So by the time they realize what has happened, their pizza has been stolen. Sorry, cheesy flatbread, and you guys make your way down into the sewers.
All right. Can you go ahead and can you reheat that?
I mean, Julian, prestidigitation.
No, that'll work too.
On it.
You can also make it not clean it too, I guess.
Yeah. When you
Although-
look at it, it does seem to be a sardines and black olives pizza with feta cheese. Like
Perfect.
a real well, I guess I don't know, feta cheese, like a goat cheese, like a real stinky goat cheese on there.
This will work
It's
perfect.
got some funk on it for sure.
Would I be able to cast prestidigitation without using the comet staff as a spell focus, or
Yeah.
any?
Yeah,
Okay.
remember you are a sorcerer, so your body is a spell focus. You just wouldn't get any of the kick-ass mechanical benefits of using the
Got it.
Starcaller staff.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't need to use it. Yeah, it's prestidigitation. It's useful.
Right, exactly. Okay, yeah, so you heat up and increase the aroma, and improve the general flavor of the pizza. It does not take long for something to stir in the dark. Let's see. Okay. All right. You hear off in the darkness, unless some of you can see in the dark, which I think a lot of you guys can see in the dark. You see a woman approaching, a young woman. For a moment, you're pretty sure it's Corinna, but then you're like, no, that's not possible. That's not possible. And so let me see. Oh, shoot. Hold on. I have to grab this out of storage. There we go. Okay. Yeah, you see a woman approach. She is dressed in simple like hoplite training clothes. And has a Zephos and a shield drawn and held defensively. She doesn't think that you guys can see her. She's like in a Skyrim stealth crouch.
Orin waves, says, "Who goes there?"
Oh wow. She nearly drops her Zephos into the well, it's now mostly dried up by 888 years later, but into the dried up sewer canal next to her. And she gasps. She says, "Oh, you can see me?"
And he gestures towards the left side of his face, says, "Yes, I can see quite well down here."
I thought that was a skill only the rats knew.
He shrugs. We are. And he holds himself back. He says, "I am Oronius. There's Julianus. We got Myonius and Sebonius."
Sibonius. That name is pretty funny. Some people call erect penis a boner.
Indeed.
And then she realizes what she's doing, and she like grips her weapon again, goes back into like crouch pose. But this is like fighting game crouch pose, not Skyrim stealth crouch pose. And she says, "You can't get me off guard with your silver tongue. Why are you here? And what is that incredible smell?"
We are looking for Dread. and his brothers, companions.
Oh, the Totals?
Indeed.
Ah, they are friends of mine, and allies to the rats.
Hmm.
What are they to you?
I consider them allies as well, though we haven't met the rats.
I see. Hmm.
We were on the surface, came to town recently, and we heard of the Lord of Filth. We thought maybe the Dread and his friends might be able to put us in contact, or if they know of him or know of them.
The Lord of Filth is nothing but a legend. There is no such person. Man, she's lying. She definitely knows. He saw him earlier today. She
Or
knows
just
who he
puts his hands on his hips, like, well, that is inconvenient.
is.
Uh, Maya will
Yes.
say that no, we know he exists, and we want to have a chat with him. We don't mean any harm, and maybe we can help.
I already told you, he's a legend. If you put down whatever is in that box, I will let you live.
If you put it down, it'll get wet in the sewers.
She shrugs.
It'll get
here.
soggy.
She says, we are used to such things.
Well,
This is not,
yeah.
look around you. This is not the palace.
Well, why? If you're, I mean, yeah, you might be used to it, but this is a chance to not have it that way. If we, keep it up, not on the floor.
Her face screws up in anger. She says, I don't need your charity. And who are you? Mercenaries, no doubt. And she spits a fat wad onto the ground.
It's not charity, it's a trade deal. Pizza for information. If this Lord of Filth truly doesn't exist, perhaps Dread knows of some other entities in the sewers that he can fill us in on. Or maybe you do.
Maya will say out loud, she does.
You think someone would
She
just go out here
she
and
seems
lie,
flustered. And she says, you don't know what you're talking about. And you, step into the light. I want to see your face. Why did you bring a child down here? She points to Sibo.
I'll go ahead
He's
and.
the halfling.
Oh, they are quite rare. Oh, yeah, there's no map. You guys are just, like this
I've
is all.
reloaded twice and I still just have all black.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it looks like on the
Hmm.
top left, looks like you're not on the dashboard. Oh, wait. Are you the red guy? Oh, yeah, you are.
Oh, do I need to bring you here? I
Oh,
didn't take you
your
anywhere.
his token's gone.
Oh, that's weird. Okay. No, what? All right, where the fuck
So I
did it?
was murdered.
Okay, well, I
Oh,
mean,
no. They tied you, they cinder block shoes and threw you into the
I
bay.
promised last week that they weren't going to throw you in the bay. All right, can you see now, sir?
I mean, that's probably where Andronicos probably have a blast down there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
they'll strap
They-
balloons
they-
to him and launch him into the sky.
That's how Sidon gangsters kill people. The storms. You get sleeping with the storms. I guess. So she says, I. Mm,
Look, we don't mean you any harm, and we're not trying to do anything strange. We just want to talk.
you're definitely strange.
Oh, yeah, okay, we are strange, but I mean, we're not harmful.
Yeah, we're a little
And
harmful.
why is that man so handsome?
was
It's
the
the most
really
handsome man I've ever seen.
He was
He
born
is
He's
that way.
even more handsome than the Lord of Filth. And then she claps her hand over her mouth, but in doing so, she drops her sword. Then she reaches down for her sword, and she falls into the dry canal.
Maya, I think she was doing us deception.
Oh no, she was trying. Yes.
She was trying indeed.
You hear her groan from the bottom of the canal, and she staggers to her feet using half of her movement. And then she starts to climb back up. Don't take my sword. Give me a moment.
Wardle will
If it's
proffer
really
a
dark-
We won't
hand.
take your sword. Would you like me to try diplomacy? See if we can't move this along.
If it's dark, Maya will use produce flame to make sure that we can all see.
Wardle will proffer a hand to try to get them out of the sewer.
All right, give me a persuasion check or an athletics check.
Oh, me?
Yeah. This determines if your hand gets slapped away.
Okay. I guess I'll do athletics.
Okay. All right. She accepts your help because you work out. All
He offers
right.
his human hand.
Okay. Yeah, you help her up, and she says, "I did not need your help." And then she shoulders past you, and she kicks her sword with her boot up a little bit, and then goes to grab it. And it, in her mind, probably looks really cool, but it looks like someone that is still probably practicing this many times when no one's watching, and it still needs some work. But she does catch it,
Nice.
and she says, "Fine, we will not bother Dread. He and his friends are sleeping. They do not stay up too late, though Modesto is somewhat of a party animal. Here, I will take you. I will take you to see the Lord of Filth. Because I know that if you try anything, he will destroy you."
Okay.
And she turns on her heel and she starts walking away. She almost walks right into the canal, but she stops herself. And then she walks along the ledge without falling.
She's. I feel like
Orin,
she might get herself killed one day.
Orin smiles slyly. So the Lord of Filth does exist. You follow along behind.
All right. She leads you through some winding passageways, and then as she approaches what looks like a dead end, you see what looks like two piles of stone begin to shift and move. Maya, you know right away what you're looking at. Earth elementals.
Okay.
Like thwomps.
Like globs. Sir, we can only have so many tie-ins here and Easter eggs. These are just regular ass Earth elementals. Thank you very much. The Earth elementals
Really angry. That's all.
the Earth elementals rise up and they look down at her, and she looks up at them. They seem to recognize her, and she says, "You go and fetch the Lord. We have very interesting guests." And the left-hand Earth elemental nods, and then it melds into the Earth and disappears.
Or the SIBA network. Orin's gonna ask, what's our party name?
"I have taken you here. Now, you must give me what is in that box. I will definitely share it with Dread when I see him." Maya, she's lying. She's going to eat the whole pizza.
Over the network, Maya will let everybody know that's what's up, and said, I mean, we could just give it to her.
I'll shrug.
Okay. As you pro-offer it, she snatches it away from you, nearly dropping it on the ground.
When she takes it, Maya will say, "You're not very good at lying, but it's okay. You can have the pizza. You don't have to share it with Dread."
Lying? I don't know what you mean. And she says, "I need to inspect this for poison. Over here, behind the Earth elemental." And you hear her eating it. Sounds like a fucking Minecraft character eating. Just as she makes her way through the pizza. I mean, there's more crunching in the Minecraft, but you get the idea. All right. A figure, at least 7.5 feet tall, with the most action hero bod you've ever seen. Their silhouette fills a secret door that slides open. They are backlit as they do, and they have what looks like very filthy leather armor and a heavily stained red mantle and cloak. Their hair and beard are everywhere, and their eyes sparkle like two gray diamonds. The figure looks over at all of you and says, well, look at that.
Raspirathor, is that you?
Oh, I think that's Aristonar.
When you say Raspberry Raptor, is that you? You just Maya for just a second. He almost starts crying, but he's a cool guy now, so he buttons it down and he keeps it in close. Uh, and he says, no, it's. He looks over for Aurelia, and he hears a sounds, and he says, "It's me, Aristonar Narset."
Oh, hey,
One looks very surprised.
okay, okay, before we go any further, what should we call you? Lord of Filth?
Oh, Lord of Filth, yeah, definitely.
Okay, okay.
It's pretty cool,
All
right?
right. Sure. Okay. Let's do. It turns to Julian. We should do like announcements of who we are, so that we all are on the same page of what we're supposed to call each other.
Yeah, yeah. He says loud enough for Aurelia, and the Earth Elemental series says, "And who might you be, strangers that I've never met before?"
I am Orononius
Mm,
of New Praxis.
mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you? He points to you, Maya.
I'm Oof.
Ah, the famous gladiator of an age long past. And you? And Siva says, Saboner.
What? You're not doing Sibonius? That sounds better.
Oh, right. Sabonius.
First name, last name.
Mm-mm.
Sabonius. What?
The Lord of Filth locks handsome eyes with the more handsome Julian, and there is some tension, Maya. And I guess Julian, because well, he's not a god anymore. Maya, you sense that the Lord of Filth is not pleased to see Julian, his own nephew.
I'm Julonius.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, what do you make of our newest recruit, the rat Aurelia? And when he says that, he looks right at Oren, gauging what Oren's going to say.
Needs more training, but seems stalwart enough.
Yes, he has the blood of heroes, and a bit of dwarven ancestry as well.
How much does the blood of heroes count for these days?
Well, not much. But anything is better than nothing. In the aftermath of your disappearance, we lost swiftly and terribly. We thought perhaps we had a chance, and then Kentamane rose up from the earth. And that was that.
so he did rise.
Yes.
You sure that it was Kentamane and not some other elemental creature of Sidon?
I did not have a chance to count all 100 heads and hands. But a beast larger than any mountain, larger than the titans we saved, did rise from the earth. And it did bring about a divine punishment to all who stood against Sidon.
Mm.
Alcia got us. Burnt up the time spark.
Time spark. I thought she was the titaness of celerity.
Well, whatever she
Wait.
did, she
But my
got us.
sister. The sounds stop, and Aurelia comes over and says, "My lord, I have finished inspecting the pizza, flatbread for poison." Her tummy very big now. She has sauce all over her face. She says,
That's the verdict.
it is not poisoned.
Are you sure?
Silence you! You are in the presence of the Lord of Filth. My lord, give the word, and I will kill each and every one of these intruders. And he says, there's no need. Please, continue your route. We must ensure that the sewers are safe. Find anyone who's lost and without a home, and bring them here. And find anyone who is lost from their home. Deliver them to safety. I trust you. And she blushes and she says, "Of course, right away." And she rushes off, nearly crashing into the wall. Then she corrects herself. She rushes off.
Something to be said for the buddy system, but
Once she's out of sight, he says, "I have several of my elementals following her at all times.
yeah, we're not.
But it is important to build courage, confidence, and independence. For our numbers are few, and the perils we face are many."
Not sagely.
Where were we? Ah, yes. So she had time, right, not speed. I relive that terrible day, that terrible war, whenever I try to sleep. I lost everything. All I can do is live in the ruined underbelly of my mother and sister's once great legacy. Try to protect the blood of Mitros that lingers still, its people. I built my playbook around Moxena. It has been effective, just as it was for her.
She's still around.
No. No, she is not. She would not leave the field of battle. She tried to assassinate key figures, but soon enough he was found out by Hergeron, and he put an end to her. I'm sorry, Maya.
It's okay.
Now that you're back, you will help me?
Always.
Well,
We've been working to devise a way to return Battle of
oh,
Prometheus.
I have become so mundane and short-sighted. I thought to ask you to help me in my work. It never occurred to me that you would try to find a way back.
Right now, the ideas that we have involve going to the low switch or trying to find a way back to the island of time.
Hmm. Both are the most obvious options, and often that is the best option. Hmm. Well, if you're trying to get to Scorpion Island, I can arrange for a ship. I have many guises here in the city. There is a wealthy Jankan merchant who secretly funds the rats of the city. I could ask him if special cargo could be put on a ship to Scorpion Island. With your incredible insight, you follow the conversation. He is this Jankan merchant.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. When would you need to leave?
I mean, are the oceans safe to move about?
Certainly. The Jankan, he only hires Cyclops. You know, the favored children of Sidon and the favored people of the sun. They will have fast, calm seas.
Sooner the better, I would imagine. As soon as Sidon or his children discover our presence here, they will most likely stop at nothing to end us before we can return.
Hmm. Well, do you remember how fat my brother got? Well, I suppose it was more how fat he was when you met him.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Warren looks a little nervous, but he's like, he's nodding.
Let's just say that winning has definitely put on a few pounds for old Sidon. A small victory, I suppose. And a strange one for a shape-shifting deity. Hmm. Come to think of it, why didn't Pythor just not be fat? He did a whole, like, training montage.
It's a mental thing more than physical, maybe.
Ah. Hmm. Yes, they never were as good at fluidity of form as I was. We all had our own gifts. None could make us laugh like she could. And he looks over at you, Julian, with a look of shared sorrow.
Is
Julian
she?
will wince at this and then also remember the fact that his mother has been on that tree this entire time.
Mm. Well, I will go and arrange for the ship. You are
You just said
welcome to stay here, but I would prefer you not come inside our hideout. You have a tendency to bring chaos with you.
That is a fair request. Before we go, though, Sebonius, can you get Lord of Filth's name into your book?
He approaches this and says, yeah, if you could just sign here, here. Here. And here.
I thought we just needed the one signature.
The other ones were his personal collection, his diary.
Okay. Sibo says,
I
is it gonna
guess-
work if you put Lord of Filth? Again. He writes in the book, is it gonna work if you put Lord of Filth? And then writing appears it says, yes.
Perfect.
We look over at Lord of the Fifth and said, Did you get it?
Did I get one?
Oh no, who is this Lord of Filth that was actually in your book?
Oh, yes, the message. Yes.
Copyright, you know.
I guess before we go, can you let us know what happened after we disappeared? So Kinderman came.
Hmm. Yes. Uh,
We can use this when we get back to know what's coming sooner rather than later.
after you disappeared, there was a brilliant light from the palace. Everyone, everywhere within the city, turned to look at that light. And that is when we saw her, rising ascendant into the air, trailing flames behind her. She had King Acastus there for all the people to see. Inch by inch, he disemboweled him. He tried to be brave. He tried not to scream. But she had always been a vile thing, and was well trained in torture. His screams. At first, in outrage, then in pain, and then sobs for mercy, echoed through the streets of the city. When she was done with her work of humiliation, she hung him with his own entrails, dragged him through the streets. We tried to intervene, but a great wind rose up and grounded the dragons, blew over troops. It was the center of a storm that did nothing to hide the screams and the horrors within its center. I cared not for King Acastus, but my heart still is broken to remember his end. The people, their spirits broke that day. I don't think they'll ever be okay again. That's what I thought as I looked at their haunted faces, their empty eyes. They surrendered. There was no hoplite army. There was no second wind. The battle was all but over. We fought on, your allies and I, my siblings, my father. Hergeron was almost killed by the mad dragon Icarus, but that is when our Titan allies arrived. and inadvertently saved his life, which then cost so many others theirs. They tore the dragon to pieces, but not without casualties of their own. There was something other-worldly about Icarus. It was like his power was boundless, his fury unending. But once he was slain, we thought we had a chance. And then, well, you know the rest. Kentamane rose up, destroyed his wayward children, seized up Lutheria, and devoured her. I can still hear her screams. Such a piteous sound from such a monstrous thing. I do not regret fighting alongside you. You helped me find my courage. Courage I never knew I had. At least I know that when my father, brother, and sister died, at least in their eyes and in their hearts, I had been forgiven, though I doubt I will ever forgive myself. I wandered the world, for I was still a coward at heart, and would not die as they did, could not. That is the nature of cowards. That is their burden. To live, to endure, to carry the weight of that cowardice with them. In the end, I thought the best thing I could do be to protect the people that they had died trying to protect, in whatever small ways I could. I am an ancient dragon. My power is vast, but I am but one against many. And these people have no need of savior, gods, or heroes. I think they just need a quiet protector. And that is what I am.
Thank you for uh, giving us the knowledge that we were missing.
The work you've done these last 800 years, it's extremely admirable, impressive, Aristonar.
Well, if there's nothing else, I will go make those arrangements. I will send Aurelia to the location of your choosing to inform you of the details.
over the network? Are we planning to use a boat?
Try the tree first,
mean-
and then if that doesn't work, hit the boat.
Okay.
I mean,
Dang,
we
you're
should
gonna
probably
let
tell him.
you're gonna let this guy stick his neck out, make all kinds of like shady arrangements to possibly blow his cover to get you guys a boat, and then you're gonna take a tree anyways. Ice cold. Ice cold.
Maybe we should tell him to rain check it until we can go check the tree. We have him in the book now, so we can tell him to give us 15 minutes to go see if a tree works or not.
Oh yeah, I guess he doesn't need to sell Aurelia if you guys have him the book. That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arista, very briefly, it's Lord of Filth. Excuse me. You would be undertaking a great risk to move us by sea, and I doubt that Sidon's forgotten all of the shitty things I've done and said to antagonize him. We are going to see if we can't travel by tree to get to the island. That way you don't have to go to all the bother, and it might be a bit safer for us.
All right.
And if the tree thing doesn't work out, we've got a solid plan B. And I have to say, you've done a marvelous job coming up with the persona and the lore, and I must say I'm impressed with what you've done.
Mm.
Your father would be proud.
As you say. You can call on me if you need to. And he turns and starts walking back in towards the secret door. He disappears. All
I
right.
think it's time for bed.
You guys just find a place in the sewers to sleep, or do you head back to the hostel, or what's the play?
Okay, we're heading back to the hostel, so we're near. They said we bring chaos. I'd rather not bring chaos to Ristanar.
Or
Wait, what?
that's that'll work.
Okay. All right. So, you head back. You find places to settle in, and you get some sleep. You guys wake up in dirty hay on hard stone floors. Andronicus, you wake up in feathered down blanket with a beautiful naked centaur on one side and a naked tiefling on the other, in a tangle of limbs. All around you, you see discarded bottles and jugs of wine and spirits, and wooden and porcelain drinking bowls, some shattered.
I think over the network. Is it important that I stay and make sure I've secured access to the additional knowledge, or
I guess we'll let Andronicos know that we met at Ristanar and then say we're planning to leave today. So I think we're good to go.
he of all people is calling himself the Lord of Filth now? That's new leaf for him, I suppose.
Kind of looks like a young Pythor.
I'm sure he would love that comparison. I'll extricate myself, and where should I meet you?
There's a hostile in this area of the city.
Do I just ask around for a hostel?
I mean, I'll give him the directions that we're
Okay.
at.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's essentially like a cell phone conversation where you're like, well, okay, I'm out on the
Can you hear me
street.
now?
Yeah, there's a lot of blue banners. There's gonna be a statue. Oh shoot, there's gonna be a statue of Sidon with 4 lightning bolt. Yeah. Okay. Andronikos, the ladies are worn out. I mean, you are a barbarian with relentless rage. But Lyros opens her blood red eyes and sort of sleepily watches as you gather your things. And she says, "That was something else."
Something else in a good way.
Oh, absolutely. I get the feeling, though, I won't be seeing you again.
Most likely not, but it was pleasant while it lasted.
It was. We must have drank a lot last night. I don't even remember your name.
I get that a lot.
Well, at least we had this one night. I'm sure Callisto and I will never forget it.
You two were good for each other. Maybe see if there's something there.
She shrugs.
Well, if we meet again, I hope it's just as pleasant.
As you go to leave, she says, you didn't. I suppose it's none of my business.
Didn't leave room for Sidon.
Ye- I hope you find. I hope you find them.
I'm not even sure it's possible, but I do also.
All right. And you just roll out of the villa. Why is there a robot, guys? What was this from? Why is there?
I'm not sure.
Oh, time cop. Time cop.
Ah,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah.
Thought it was a Reddit.
Right. If you think the time cops aren't on Reddit, man.
Where you can think of their mods, yeah.
Yeah, right. That's the training ground. If you do a good enough job as a Reddit moderator, then you're recruited into the time cops. All right. So you guys meet up. It is another perfect day. Mediterranean climate with perfect weather.
All right. Let me see here. So I do have transport via plants. There's also something called Windwalk.
Yes, made famous by a certain redhead. Yep. I mean, it's good for travel. Last 8 hours. I mean, yeah.
8 hours and 300 feet flight speed for 10 creatures.
Yeah.
We leveled. Oh yeah, we did level up. So I do have 2 empty slots. I'll prep it.
Yeah. If your concern is what if Sidon catches us traveling by sea? He is also the god of storms. So traveling by air would be possibly as risky, maybe not as
Yeah.
risky, right? If he's not looking for you.
Yeah, that's the
Uh,
thing. Like, you
the-
want to have like zero,
think the-
radar cross section while we're here in this timeline.
Yeah, the plant transport via plants is probably the safest.
Maya, normally when you prepare for spells, it is like a second what's the word I'm looking for? You do it without really having to think about it too hard. Like you go through the rituals, you pray for guidance and wisdom and the miracles that can help you do her work and serve as her champion, et cetera, et cetera. You've never really felt like you had to coax it out of her, but like you feel the effort of it. Um, and it's not a great feeling.
I see.
Yeah. All right. So as you guys look for a tree, is that the goal? Trying to find a big tree? What tree are you thinking of from 888 years ago that you would go to?
So if I remember correctly, she had a garden right outside it,
Mhm,
right at the base
mhm.
of her tower, and there was I'm trying to see if there was a tree there that would be large enough for medium-sized creatures to pass through.
Okay. All right. So it is believed that trees can live, some species, for up to and perhaps past 3,000 years. So hopefully this is one of those types of trees.
Yeah.
All right. So as you sort of gather around this tree, there is a moment where everything gets really, really quiet. The wind stops blowing, and the people walking by on the streets continue to walk by on the street, but the hustle and the bustle seems to be downplayed quite a bit as well. Hold on. There is a gash that kind of opens in reality. Do you wait to see what comes through, or do you quickly finish casting the spell and get the fuck out of there?
Is this a familiar gash?
Time to go.
Thebo, with his keen mind, would say, "That's the Furies."
Okay. I mean, there's no way we can run away from the Furies, so.
Oh shit! So you're gonna stick around?
I mean, like
This is gonna
they
cause a
can-
lot of
Maya,
ruckus.
open the portal, Maya.
It's gonna cause some. If there's no way to run from them, it would be better to confront them on the on the Lotus Island rather than in the middle of New Praxis, where we're gonna draw a bunch of attention.
okay.
Right,
If that's what I'm getting from everybody, I'll
Yeah, it's
go ahead and cast the
Please
spell.
open the portal.
time to
Okay.
go.
And you guys pass through. All right, give me just a sec.
I'm just thinking, if it is the Furies, worst case scenario they want to fuck us up. Best case scenario they want to talk about something, and then they might draw attention. Because I imagine they don't pop into New Praxis every day. They might.
Yeah, there's no way to run from the Furies, so.
Yeah, but this way we won't be in the middle of the city if they show up.
But now they're gonna be popping up by a Lotus Witch, so unless they don't bother
That's a
with
problem
Lotus
for
Witch.
them.
Yeah, I guess I don't know the relationship between the Furies and the Lotus Witch.
All right, you guys are going in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Based on the Lotus Witch's relationship with other things. It's probably not great.
Okay. Just doing I'm doing my own time cop stuff right now. So hold on.
See, at least we can go 800 years in the past, because then we'd really begin the time cops out. You'd be stepping on butterflies and causing all sorts of horrible shit.
Yeah, probably. Okay.
I'm surprised the time cops didn't go mess with House. They probably did. That's probably why she's gone.
At least she just
Truly are. You
blew
truly
up.
are the wisest queen.
Also, I'm wondering if Kenta. One thing I thought about. I wonder if Kentamine showed up, not necessarily because the Titan kids showed up, because I think the only Titan kid that was punished was Talius. All the other ones just got betrayed, right? So I'm thinking he showed up because time got blown. Time, Spark got burnt up, and they're both hiding from Kronos.
Hmm. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but he said he ate Lutheria.
Well, yeah. Who else is gonna take that punishment for that happening? If Halcyon gets taken away from time cops, and we're gone, who's the only person left who is related to anything that's going on there? And then Sidon's favorite son, Sidon, just says, "Hey, Lutheria did this," and the kids that are been punished.
Well, we're just gonna have to kill Kentamine.
Simple as.
I don't know about that.
Hundred hands, probably got only 2 feet still. He could still fall down.
Orin, your odd sense of optimism never fails to uplift me.
All right, Maya, you stepped through that very strange alien tree. So it was so weird that it stuck with you after all this time. Something right out of the Coral Highlands from Monster Hunter World. You find yourselves deep in the old wood-inspired flowers and weeds and underbrush. You see, rising up out of this pool, a lotus toad.
Well, it's this guy again. From one of his descendants.
All right. Looking around, I guess Julian, you're the one who is most familiar with this place, so we should just head to the entrance. Hopefully, we don't get turned to babies again.
Okay.
That's a repressed memory.
The lotus toad, yeah, the lotus toad watches Sebonicus with hungry eyes. Smalls are their favorite food.
Orin's gonna tuck Sibo under his arm.
Okay.
Listen, we don't want any trouble. We're just trying to see my old master, see how she's doing, see if she can't help us out of a predicament. Not looking to upset anyone's meal or start anything. We just want to go on by.
Orin points to his
Use
eyes.
us.
Points to the toad's eyes.
I wonder where the walls went on the tower. Whatever.
It looks like they're the ones you can see the tower but can't see through past it.
Yeah. That's what they were supposed to be, but I actually just threw them in because they were missing. But
Oh, okay.
all right, as you come around the corner, I guess we could change the music again. Hold on. Let's see.
Is Andronicus just staring down the toad?
How dare you try to be the token aquatic being on this map?
Oh, dang.
Them's fighting words. Oh shit.
Oh no, that's too. All right, wait, hold on. I think this might be the one. Oh yeah, just as nice. Technically, this is more like the heart tree music, but as Lotus might point out, she doesn't own the copyright. The gardener is walking along the water, tending to the plants, with a very large scorpion in tow. The scorpion, just all the scorpions you've met in your adventures have seemed pretty fucking mad. This seems like the nicest scorpion you've ever seen.
Orin frowns.
Hmm. The Lamia slithers towards you guys and says, you. I can't figure out if you're early or late.
Both.
Good answer.
Wouldn't
You're
that be
here.
right on time?
I don't think you guys are ever on time. You're here to see the mistress, I assume.
Yes.
Yes.
I'd say she was expecting you, but I never know what she's up to anymore. Well, hold on. Which mistress are you here for? Lotus or Hypatia?
Notice.
We know Lotus, but Hypatia, didn't the one that we played D&D with? He mentioned that name once. Who was that? Philippocles?
Well, there's more than one Lotus Witch. It's a pretty big job for just one person.
We want to talk to the one sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh, the scorpion is looking at Sibo intensely. The gardener says, "Oh, oh, oh. Well, hey, I'll ask. Would it be all right if she's, if she said hello? If you don't have it in you after everything, she understands."
Sibo. Orin will look to see if there's recognition from Sibo.
Let's see. Sibo with his 21 intelligence. He says, what are you guys talking about?
Orin frowns.
Maya, you know that Sibo knows exactly what's going on. He's trying to play dumb, like he does whenever his father comes up.
880 years in the future, Sibo. You think about what happened to Nessa the time we were gone.
I
don't think she found another rider.
Didn't we remove the curse though? Our Lotus removed the curse, so you need to head back in time so you can so we can get to her.
The gardener kind of does like a placating gesture and says, well, yes, I mean, you know how things go. Sometimes it doesn't matter which Thibo. It's just nice to see a Thibo. Not every Nessa finds a rider. Not every Thibo makes it this far. Again, if you don't have it in you, it's okay.
Sibo, go say it now.
He walks between Julian's legs and flips up Julian's skirt on his way through.
Was it entirely necessary?
The scorpion rushes up and snatches him up with his in its claws. Thivo, who made a critical mistake of tanking his dexterity at my advice, is caught quickly. Listen, it was that or dude was going to go around with a 3-strength score. We couldn't have that. And then it just begins to sort of rub him against itself. It seems like it's hugging him. Maya. Stevo is on the verge of tears.
Maybe we let them have a moment while we go.
Well, you have all the moments you need. We're outside of time. Which is probably good, because, well, time is such a mess.
Furies?
Oh, is that a thing that's happening with you?
Well,
Hmm.
they were
How?
coming as we were going, and we did want to stay and chat if it might cause a problem with
Mhm.
what we're trying to do. So,
I don't have much experience with it myself, but the mistresses both agree that the Furies are nothing but trouble.
maybe they could shed some light on it. Shall
Oh,
we go on?
I doubt you'll be able to see both of them together. They have much to do. All right, let him go. She sets Sibo down as she scuttles behind the gardener's long serpentine tail. Numbly, Sibo kind of walks over to stand by Orin.
Warren pats him on the shoulder.
Do not worry, Sibo. Your Nessa died well. Oh, I just received a message. When you walk through the door, you'll just skip to the top.
Wipe some sweat, yeah. Oof.
I don't think she wants you messing with the production line again.
I don't know, Julian, he wants to dual wield locks.
All right, so you guys head through the doors.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Give me just a sec. Okay. Sorry, I'm digging deep into old maps here. This should work.
Walking right in the middle of her running. Let's make a deal with another set of heroes of prophecy or something. These are the champions of legend.
Let me see.
And look, Steve Harvey's still alive.
I mean, sometimes.
Be Howie Mandel, actually.
All right, maybe it's this one. Hold on. Ah, yes, this will work nicely. All right. Grid. Okay. I'll change the music out again.
Hold on, wait a second.
What?
Is this Thursday?
No, it's not Thursday. Jeez. All right, let's see. Do this one.
We all appear in the same same love seat.
Well, you guys have actually come through the story here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is different.
Yes. You see, Oren, how dare you?
Oh, whoops.
You you see reclining on a chaise by the fireplace is the Lotus Switch. Sitting across from her, Oren, how dare you?
Just tripping over everybody here. Yeah.
Oh man, apparently still beat to shit from events. You see a Medusa of some presence. A winged snake perched on the back of the couch near her. The two women turn to look at you as you enter, and the Medusa says, "Well, I'll leave you to it. I don't mess around with the crossing of timelines anymore." And Lotus says, "There's no cops around. You don't have to say that sort of stuff." She says, "Listen, each for the best." And she says, "Nice to see you. Nice to meet you." And she hustles out of the room. There you are. I don't remember inviting you over, but it is always nice to have company. You like my sitting room? It's a Benios original.
Yeah, to be honest,
I've heard good things about it.
It's no Acera but it'll do.
Oren just holding his glass tablet. He's looking around for somewhere to charge it, honestly.
Oh, she says, "Open the book." When you see the book on the
Ooh.
table, when you open it, it's just one of those fake books they sell at Michael's, but there's like a charging station inside. Yeah.
Yeah, he discreetly puts in the book. Sits down next to Maya.
All right. Let's see. This one's still extra forgettable and sad. This one's very handsome. You're not a Medusa, and you are still purple.
He gives a thumbs up.
Right. Okay. I think I have a read on which heroes of prophecy I'm dealing with here.
Flung
Just
through
a
time.
quick test. Nothing big. It's certainly not a game, and your lives are certainly not at risk. Maya, what was the name of your character in our Dungeons and Dragons game?
Brutus.
What was his signature tagline?
Friendship.
Nice. All right. Andronikos, what was your favorite souvenir from Hawaii?
A VHS copy of Spider-Man 2.
And what happened to it?
I had to trade it. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
No,
All right.
I'm sorry. I wish I hadn't.
Mm, well, if you have time, we could watch the whole trilogy on Blu-ray.
Won't get me killed by time or by furies again, will it?
Good
No,
knowledge.
no. And you'll have the special pride of watching it on a, a very exclusive PlayStation 5, if I might say so myself. The builder won't miss it at all. Anyways, so now that I have a read on you, you're from the timeline where you didn't make me one of the fates. Ugh, how disappointing. The more times I made the fates, the stronger I become.
I haven't made anyone fates yet. Is that something
I
you want?
know! You were so... I don't know how. And I don't want to drag him into this, but your Odyssey was a bigger mess than Odysseus. Like, what exactly did you guys get up to?
There's so much sand.
Oh, this is the group that. Oh, that. That was rough. And then you went back for seconds. Wow. Ugh. All right. Well, um, we have a lot of work to do then. Yeah, you did things out of order. um, you were supposed to defeat the Fate. Um, I'm not sure why you didn't.
They were kicking our ass.
Hmm. That does tend to happen.
It's anti-magic, and I was indisposed at the
Oh,
time.
boo-hoo, your magic. Oh, what do you even need magic for?
I wasn't there. If I was there, we would have won.
Oh, probably. Hmm. Well, now you can be there. I assume you came here because you wanted to cheat. That's sort of what anomalies do.
If by cheat you mean we wish to return to where we were banished from timeline wise and
Yeah, I think they
fix
cheated
the
first.
bullshit.
Not really. You cheat by existing. Though not supposed to exist. Thylea's world is very structured. Everything has its place, and she tasked the Fates with ensuring that that design stayed consistent. Now, admittedly, the ladies sort of lost their minds along with their way, but they still do the job. But you, each of you in your own peculiar way, don't. You go against everything there is to do and everything there is planned, and that's part of why I love you so much. You're so fun. Like me, for real, for real. You just, I don't know. That's the point. It takes a catalyst like you to change the unchangeable. How boring is the world of Thylea if she sleeps forever and her stupid sun runs everything, and they have perfect weather every day, and everyone's happy. And that's not very exciting. I suppose not everyone's happy, though happiness is sort of perspective, isn't it? You could be taught to be happy with, well, nothing. Some will always know that they're missing. They're missing something. But most will just go along with the crowd, with the flow, a leaf in the wind, a thread on the loom. Oh, but not you. You were never supposed to leave Noriande. Your father was, but you weren't. You, well, a fledgling divine, thought she could, well, pull a fast one on everyone. And what a mess she made of that. It messed you up, but good. You had a destiny. You had threads. You had a whole life. Birth, life, death, descendants. You were a king. Now you're a nobody. You were supposed to die as a baby. And you, well, you're not really even alive, are you? Kind of like a robot, I guess. And then you're a weird eugenics experiment, I guess? The point is, even those of you that were planned for, the plans that the fates had for you, you didn't do them. And those of you outside of fate, this little man right here, so cute, and this other little man, you just, you're wrong. You're all wrong. Thylea will never accept you. She'll send the Furies after you. The Furies will erase you from existence, and life will go on. And that's how it is in almost every timeline. But every once in a while, you guys pull a fast one, or the others, or the breakers of the chain, and blah, blah, blah. That's the fun part of Infinite Worlds, isn't it? That you can't always lose, and you can't always win. Should just take some pride when you do win, knowing how many other versions of you didn't make it. And I want you to succeed. I want you to be the salmon that swam upstream, or the Magikarp, depending on what world you're from. I want you to lay those eggs. Make your own crazy futures. Shake things up a bit. But it's not my place to do that. I get in trouble for doing that sort of thing. But I could certainly advise here behind closed doors. If that's truly what you want.
Um, we we actually came to see if you would know when the next time the island of time will show up, so that we can see if we can work with them there to get back to our timeline. Right before we were shunted forward.
Right before, not the best time.
At the moment, we were.
In the majority of timelines, Halcyon is killed by Halcyon. Anytime Halcyon is not killed by Halcyon, it is bedlam. Trust me. I can't send you back. That's not really my thing. But I think I know a way that we could convince them being the Sphinx, to let you go back. Because technically, your Halcyon grossly abused time magic. Sure, she, was ridding her present of an anomaly, but then she sent the anomaly through time. That's the worst thing you could do with an anomaly, other than cloning it. And honestly, it is kind of cloning it. Especially when you consider that time is often referred to as a pizza. You just put the pepperonis on twice. Now there's future pepperonis and present pepperonis on the same pizza. That's too many pepperonis.
When you say pizza, you're referring to a cheesy flatbread.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Or not, sagely.
So, why not this? Why don't you take a trip to the island of time? I actually have to go there to fill out some paperwork. You could head over there with me. I'll vouch for you, get you through all the initial stuff. That's good because we don't need anyone's, head exploding or aging into dust or turning into a little zygote on the steps and someone accidentally steps on them. Then we send you back early enough to deal with the fate. Hmm?
Straight back
I
to the
mean,
fates.
you saw Icarus. He was a problem. I mean, Icarus was fueled by the fates.
You're suggesting return to the point in time where
They actually screwed up all the dragons. Oh my goodness, you don't actually. Oof. I don't know if I should tell you. I kind of want to,
That
though.
they screwed up the dragons, we knew that.
Oh, but you don't know how bad it got, Dragon Dads. It was really gross. Do you want to know? I'll tell you. I'll tell you anyways. So you left those babies with those innocent sirens who were playing at Dragonlord. Yeah, so when Icarus went full ultimate kaiju, like kaiju -1 or whatever, at that same moment, the Fates poured out their malice and their hatred for you into all the dragons that they had corrupted, including your babies. They turned into monstrosities, aberrations, and they murdered and feasted upon your new Dragonlord allies. So if I did send you back right before, wouldn't you just have a really gross mess to clean up? Oh, and I suppose emotional trauma of having to put down your own babies. That would probably be bad too. Again, not that I could send you back. I'm not allowed to do that. But whoever we convince to send you back, like, why? Why go back to the mistakes you've made?
I mean, the last time somebody we messed with time like that,
Mm,
uh, these things opened up that kind of looked like robots came and said
mhm.
that we're messing with time and we couldn't do that.
Oh, time cops.
Yeah, that's what they were called.
The time cops work for the Isle of Time, don't they? I think that if they
Ooh.
did it,
No,
we'd be
they.
fine.
I mean, they arrested
No.
somebody from the island at time, so I don't think they do.
Oh,
Now,
that's true.
technically, they work for being known as the Primus, who operates out of Mechanus, which is the plane of absolute law.
Look, if you don't know, you can just say that. You don't have to make things up.
Nice, nice, good one, good one. But no, that's not going to be a problem because I have an angle that we're going to work. Oh, don't look at me like that. It's more fun if I surprise you with it at the last minute. But fine, here, I'll just tell you. We're going to convince the Council of the Sphinx to deputize you. You will be time cops.
Hmm.
But
Listen,
but
if there's
That's just
anyone
gonna
that can
work.
get away, if there's anyone who gets away with breaking the law without any consequence, it's the police.
but I thought they did. I thought the time cop. I thought the Sphinxes don't run the time cops.
They don't, but they sort of do. You see, much as kingdoms of the world have rulers, right? Timelines and epochs, right? They have rulers as well. So all we have to do is go and have a meeting with Balatro, and we'll explain the situation. And then Balatro will probably be like, I want them to do some kind of quest, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And then we'll say something like, oh, well, it is a shame with the domain of time being burnt out. And then that's going to be a soft spot for him because, you see, well, Sidon stole the domain of time. Mm-hmm. Right out from Balatro's snoot. I don't know. Because Sidon, he sought knowledge, wisdom, and training underneath the Council of Sphinx. But behind their backs, he made off with a portion of time's power. How embarrassing. But he never really did anything with it. I think at the end of the day, Sidon, well, I think he knew he had stolen something a bit too dangerous. And he was pretty smart for a while. So I think he just sort of kept it quiet that he had the ability to control time. And since he never technically broke any laws, they couldn't go after him and take it. But then, when he got all dumb, when he, was bamboozled out of his power, and then when he broke up with his incestuous sister wife and started banging his own daughter on the regular, who apparently was one crazy screw, he gave her the domain of time, which was an inadvisable decision, as we are now talking in this room. And that's where he fucked up. And his fuck up is your gain. As is always the case when you're, up against a nearly undefeatable foe. You have to really wait for them to screw up, and that's the screw up. Daddy gave Princess a present. And then she drove that Mercedes right off a cliff.
I suppose we can just tell them that and get them to kill Sidon for us.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You think it's going to be that easy?
No.
Here's the thing. Because you're anomalies, you can do things to timelines and to fate that others can't. Even the cops. Surely you've seen plays, read stories where the police have to get edgy, edgy people that are they shouldn't be cops, but they
You're
make them
going to
cops.
be Spider-Man.
Yes, you will be the Spider-Man. You'll do what the police can't, and they'll pretend to be upset about it, but they're actually going to be really happy.
Does that make you J. Jonah Jameson in this scenario, or
Maybe. I mean,
Didn't he talk really bad about Spider-Man?
yeah, but he also kind of liked Spider-Man.
oh yeah, he risked his life to protect Peter Parker's secret identity, which all of you should too, because Spider-Man is real.
What?
Oh yeah.
I thought it was a play.
No, every play, every book, every movie, it's actually just another reality. No one actually comes up with any original stories. They just become aware of stories that they weren't aware of before. That's what creativity is.
Before we do this thing on that subject, sort of, do you want to be a Fate? Is that a thing you want? Are you good?
Are you asking? I mean, from what I understand, this was a topic of debate for several meta months, possibly an entire year. You could never figure out who should be the replacement for the Fates, and that was sort of your excuse for not dealing with them.
Yeah, we still don't know.
Well, in many timelines, I'm a great pick. Nessa's a great pick. That nerdy girl from Astoria, she gets picked a lot. Sometimes it's Moxena. They don't really pick guys very much. Chandras is sometimes a good pick, but in half the timelines, he's actually a bad guy. And then
Chandras, no, he's the most honorable and
Oh.
loyal
Never
members
met
of.
anyone more trustworthy in my life.
Indeed.
Wow, a lot of people say he has a suspicious demeanor.
You know, I once used to be one of those people, but
I've never noticed.
I'm embarrassed looking back upon that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Um, hmm. That's kind of a 2-for-1 though, because if you just pick Chandras, then and that Chandras' Zamrox is still alive, then I mean that's just a miserable experience, right? That's like splitting up two puppies that have been together too long.
I think part of it was we weren't sure you would want the job, but it seems like
Oh, it's fine. It's easy.
are you still able to do weird lotus stuff when you're a
Oh,
fade?
yeah. Also, Hypatia helps me out with a lot of the Lotus stuff now.
What if we make Hypatia one of our fates?
Ooh, I don't think she'd be okay with that. Well, you know what? I'm going to message her right now. She takes out her tablet. You know, I think it might be her birthday. I couldn't remember, and so I was too embarrassed to ask. Hey girl, do you want to become a fate during the Mythic timeline?
Is that what our timeline's called?
Hmm?
The Mythic
Pretty cool
timeline?
name.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know,
Hmm.
we give him nicknames to keep track. So,
Makes sense. It's better than just
mm,
having like alphanumeric codes or something. Those are hard to
hmm
remember.
Now, you guys should never feel bad about how long your journey has taken because in the Muffin timeline, they've taken so long they're switching editions. And not Dungeons and Dragons editions. They're switching to Pathfinder 2, if you could believe it.
Pathfinder 2. Mm.
Mm-hmm. Anyways,
I mean,
uh,
finding a path kind of sounds like an Odyssey.
Yeah, had a fighters do over there.
you
Strongest
wouldn't believe
class
me if
in fifth
you
edition.
you you would not believe me if I told you, Oren. And if I did, I don't know if you'd ever find joy again.
Hmm.
Mm.
There's no way we could get any stronger. So
All right. Well, I sent the message, but I think she's partying pretty hard. Something about exploring other worlds or something. Anyways, we'll you know, if she gets back to me, I'll let you know. You should probably have that figured out a bit, because I mean, I think that dealing with the fates is kind of a big deal for you.
I want to look to the others.
I mean, while we're behind closed doors and you know spoilers are a thing, I mean, I could show you something pretty cool if you want to see it.
Well, part of our decision making is sort of when we get to replace the fates.
Mm. But you're confident that you will replace the fates, yes?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I hate
Okay.
that they're necessary, but if that's the way the world works, I suppose we have to.
Well, why don't you ask the champion of Thylea how flexible Thylea is? Hmm?
Um, from what I spoke to you about
Here,
the
here, here. Let me show you how important the fates are to your particular timeline. All right, step over here. Everybody up off the couch. Come over here. She opens a door, that was hidden behind a bookcase, and she takes you to the chapter 10 wider world landing page, which you definitely shouldn't be seeing right now. Look, it's even called Fates Undecided because you assholes couldn't make up your mind about anything.
A lot of spiders.
Yes, it's symbolic. They spin threads.
Hmm.
Look, and there's the little laurel, because you know you're a god now, or whatever. That's not going to work out well, by the way. Ugh. Anyways, so this should hopefully give you an idea of just how important it was for you to deal with the fates, and that you didn't. Look at what's waiting for you. Do you want to look at how spooky this is? This could be your future, or we could just nip all that in the bud. No, all right, enough of that. Back in here. Take your seats. Take your seats.
Yeah, or we just look at
Ah.
her.
Mm.
I think we need to deal with the fates. If we make it back to the Battle of Mitros and, the dragons.
Oh, do you want to see? I can bring up a picture if you want to see the
I'm good.
babies as they're tearing everyone apart. If you need more motivation.
I'm alright.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Because they're hideous. Would break your heart to see them.
So our options here are to head to the Island of Time and see if we can convince them to make us to go back before the Battle of Mitros, deal with the fates, and just continue our time after that. We have to go do. We have to do with practice again.
Oh, no. What I'm thinking is we don't want to go too far back because then you'll really screw things up. What if you just went back to right before the battle was going to start? So there would be two of you, but I don't think you'd be in any danger of running into each other and ceasing to exist. So that's good.
One of us will be in practice, the other one will be at the Island of Fates.
Right. So as your other selves, your past selves, your present selves, the ones that aren't you right now are dealing with Praxis, and woof, did you deal with Praxis? While they're doing their thing over there, you are over there getting the jump on the Fates. Now here's what's interesting, right? The Fates, they're so rigid. They would never expect a second set of Heroes of Prophecy. They'll be so discombobulated. They'll just be like so put out and surprised. Oh my gosh. And then you just, I don't know, run them through, kill them, whatever it is you do. And then that will leave the loom unattended. You will need to fill the slots. Otherwise, well, the Furies will go completely mad. They'll be pretty mad to begin with, but since the killing blow is coming from Maya, champion of Thylea, technically that is Thylea's will. So the Furies wouldn't be able to argue with that.
If it's technically correct, then I technically think we should do it.
But then, this is very tricky, you're going to need to catch up to yourselves, but not too fast and not too slow. You're going to need to get there just in time to kill Halcyon right after she sends you into the future. Because if you don't get sent into the future, we can't send you into the past.
What happens if we stop ourselves being sent into the future?
Oof. Well, first of all, if you see another version of yourself, one of the versions will cease to exist.
Which one?
It's a coin toss.
Okay, and it's just C. Is it that strict?
Mild.
Well, yes, Maya, you are such a dirty girl. Just because you see yourself, it doesn't mean you could. Well, anyways,
Oh, it's just that I have, some of us have really good eyes.
Oh, I
Special
see. I
eyes, you
see.
see.
So this isn't you, and then she turns the glass panel around, and there's a clip of you telling Acastus to ride his wife in front of the whole city.
That was very risque, Maya.
I mean, she's.
She just keeps
You guys,
she just keeps
all of
playing the
you-
clip like back
all-
over and over and over
all of
again.
you have very questionable minds.
We're all in the same SIBO network, Maya.
I know. I have to deal with it all the time.
Oh, hold on. I'm getting a message. You guys could, and this is real crazy, you could also pick up, Kiki out the way.
Now that I am interested in.
So we go to the Fates, and then While the heroes of prophecy head to Skyhold, we head to the Nyx.
Mm-hmm.
Would we want to warn Lutheria about the possibility of her father participating?
Ooh.
Well, no, because then you won't get the scythe, and things will change.
Yeah, well, he did bring the scythe into the future.
I
We
know.
need to let her
I'd
know
rather
that.
be in- Oh, I guess
But you
not.
had the scythe during the fight.
That's-
We have to make sure that
I don't think we want to fuck with things that have come up previously.
anybody we've
Because
interacted
if
with.
we say something that doesn't
Oh,
get
that's fair.
Andronicus to side, he can't use it to kill Halcyon.
He was your
Just-
main source of DPS during that battle, I think. Yeah, you were really
Oh.
scrambling around.
You
I
kidding
can't
me?
believe you made it that far and you don't all have some way to fly. It's like you're just not taking this seriously.
You don't want me to
Didn't you
crunch the
have
numbers on that.
Didn't you have dragon mounts? Oh, let me
You did.
guess. Oh, it's you guys. You probably were like, it would be better for the people if the dragons went off and saved them or something.
I mean, you're
Let's
not wrong.
let's run around on the ground like ants while we fight gods. This seems like a good idea.
Hey,
It's
it
only.
almost worked.
Wait. Let me check something. She reaches to the couch. She pulls out a copy of Odyssey of the Dragonlords, and she says, "Odyssey of the what's this word here? Dragonlords. I wonder if dragons were supposed to play a critical part of the last bit of this adventure. Oh well.
Well,
Here,
they
we could
did.
just.
They
Why don't we
saved the
just? Why
people.
don't we just cross this out? She just crosses out Dragonlords. She just puts Odyssey of the Ant Boys.
I mean, they did play a very important role. They kept a lot of people safe.
Oh my goodness, Maya. Who? I'm gonna be honest with you. Who gives a shit about those people? They don't.
We do.
Oh my goodness.
The other
Well-
people do.
Well, how are they doing now, Maya?
Not good.
Okay. Well, maybe they would have done. Maybe
It's
the
not
ones that.
over yet.
Maybe the ones that that lived would have been doing a lot better if you had had dragons the whole time.
Well, I had my chariot, so.
No, you're fine as always. A little boring, but that's okay. Oh, and no, I shouldn't tell you. You know what? I will definitely not tell you about this one. All right. So, are you guys ready to head out, or do you need some time? Do you want to watch the Spider-Man trilogy before we go?
Well, I mean, do you want to watch Spider-Man trilogy? That would give us time to figure out who we're replacing Fates with.
Oh, yes. Well, of
That was
course.
never a question that we answered previously.
I mean, the Sam Raimi trilogy is honestly where it peaked, but they had some other attempts. But, yeah, sure. Let's put it on. She presses something on her tablet, and you see this portrait of Scarlett Johansson kind of rotate and then turn sideways, and then it flips, and it's like a big crystal screen, and then the opening credits to the first Spider-Man, and Andronica's you've never seen it, so it's like it's like a window. It's like you could just step into another world.
The definition. It's
Mhm.
amazing.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, just one of the features of my PlayStation 5. Definitely not one that was stolen.
See, the more you say it, the more I'm not sure I believe what you're saying.
Well, she needs
Andronicus,
to.
let it go. You're a
Yeah.
barbarian now, no longer paladin. Just enjoy it.
Yeah, trust me, if you knew whose PlayStation 5 this was before it was my PlayStation 5, you would support this wholeheartedly. Imagine Valis in a witch hat.
So just regular Valis then.
Nice. She she lets out a chuckle, and then snacks are brought in. You guys have a wonderful time. Because you're in a timeless realm, um, even if you nod off, when you wake up, you haven't missed any of the movie. All right. Do you guys need to decide who your 3 picks are going to be? Because I
Yeah,
was
we
told.
have, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the question is now is that if we have to place them there once we do it, right?
All right. Sibo says, "Hey, I'll do it," and maybe.
Oh fuck.
Then we won't have the SIBO network. Or SIBO's combat
Sibo
prowess.
wouldn't do it because she wanted to be with you. You can't do it so that you can be with, or you could both do it, and you could
Mm,
be together forever.
mm.
The question is how we're gonna get them there when we're in 2 places at once.
I'm not sure if we have to. I think maybe if they get chosen, it just happens. I'm not sure.
Do they have to accept? I would think they would have to accept, right?
Yeah, they have to accept. You guys, as the ones who kill the Fates, it becomes your responsibility to replace the Fates.
Wait, what about Sibo, Nessa, and Halos?
And it's kind of weird for a kid to have to like work with his dad and his stepmom for like ever.
Ever.
Doesn't have
It's
to be
also gonna-
forever. Term limits. Crazy idea.
I mean, I'm pretty
Maybe.
sure one of the comics I'm reading that is the plot line, but I mean, like,
Also,
yeah,
whoever we pick for third is gonna feel like a third wheel for the rest of their life.
true.
Well, that's why I chose the one that was already related, already tangled up in that.
Okay. Well, we're Sibo's willing to take it.
Lotus, how does that sound to you?
What?
It was Fates, you, Sibo, and Nessa.
I love Nessa. Sibo's okay. Yeah, that's fine. I think you're going to find a lot of dick butts hidden around the world afterwards, but it's nothing you're not.
Bad thing.
Yeah.
The last time we enlisted the help of Kyra's dick butt, it was a huge help.
You're referring to her elemental, not her actual dick butt.
Let me tell you about Kyra's dick butt, and then
Can you not tell us all about Kyra's dick butt right now?
Oh, Julian, did you inherit a dick butt from your mother?
No, I didn't inherit a dick butt. I'm just sure he's
You
going
sound
to
so disappointed.
parlay that into some kind of reference about him fucking my mother again.
It's true. I could bring up the clip if you'd like.
you know that I had
No, that's quite all right.
Okay. All right. She turns back to watch the movie.
Warren found a book on the coffee table. He's just thumbing through it.
Well,
Oh, nice. Incredible. Don't tell me if she lived to graduation. Don't spoil it for me. No.
Actually, Julie, now that I think about it, if all Tritons were made by Sidon and Sidon also made Versi, and you slept with Versi, did that mean you slept with Andronikos' I guess sister?
It's not quite the same thing.
I tried to help. Okay, so we have Sibo, Nessa, and Lotus for the last one. Are we okay with that?
I think
My only concern with that is that it's
See, but says, well, is there any way that Versi could be a fate? That's what she always wanted, and what I was trying to help her do.
Then we need
that's
to go
assuming
back.
she's still alive.
We
Yeah,
have
she
to
doesn't
go
need
back
be
to
alive necessarily.
Lotus says, yeah, that's rough. She's not really alive or dead. They devoured her essence.
Is there a way to free it?
No, I mean, how do I free a sandwich? I guess I take a shit, like.
Well, it probably doesn't work the same way. I mean,
Well, I mean, they took the building blocks that were Versi, her divine spark, her prophecy, and her blood, her flesh, her bones, and they ate it.
We're gonna need to go back in time to right after the hero's prophecy lost to the fates, whenever Versi was
Oof.
passed over.
And then what? Cause all sorts of trouble while you
Uh,
wait to catch up with yourselves?
We'll just hang out.
why do we have to wait?
Oh, I'd love to see you just hang out.
Definitely won't go on an arena. I've got this punch card here for all the different arenas of the Forgotten Seas. There's one at Praxis.
This is Crash your OOC. If you agree to put on like luchador masks and attend, or sorry, Roman gladiator style masks and incognito, just travel the world, only participating in arena competitions and not fucking the timeline in any other way until you catch up to yourselves, you could go back in time and try to save Versi.
I
this
don't
seems
think
like
that
an
Julie
absolute
can
win.
agree to that
But
because that's not his
even
video.
Captain America couldn't keep that fucking promise because they're making a mini series about Captain America returning the Infinity Stones. So even fucking Captain America couldn't keep his shit together.
I promise.
And Captain America's actor couldn't keep his shit together because he said he was fucking done. And what's he doing? He's collecting another Captain America check. Good for you.
It's like Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to say no to Ryan Reynolds. You know what I'm saying, man? It's hard to say no to Ryan Reynolds.
Bro, the best phone plan.
Yeah. And the best brandy. And yeah.
Okay, so all right. In that case, then Sibo, Nessa, and Versi.
Okay, I like that.
I think that could work well.
I mean,
Or
I
if we
like
did-
it better when I'm one of the fates, but
If we did
it's
Versi,
fine.
Lotus, and Balana.
Ooh, that's a classic. That's a good combo.
You can see Orin, he's looking over at Sibo like
I mean,
doesn't
Sibo's
wanna-
kind of like, yeah, Sibo's kind of, oh, fine, yeah,
he doesn't want to
well.
lose Sibo.
Yeah, Sibo gives you a quick bro nod, like, and then he says, "Well, I really had my heart set on it, but okay."
Oh man.
All right, well, that sounds good. So you're going to go with me when I go to turn in my my paperwork. I definitely paid my taxes on time, and then we're gonna go to the bureaucrats. We're gonna get that sorted out. Then we're going to go and get a meeting with Balatro. We're gonna tell him what Halcyon did, and by association, what Sidon did to your timeline. He's gonna get furious. Then we're going to, she points to Julian, bamboozle him into deputizing you into local time cops. You're going to go back to right, let's just say right after those weird goat creatures kicked the shit out of you, and then you ran away with your tails between your legs, just crying, and then, like, that was real bad. Then you could just, hey, here's an even better idea. While your past selves are getting the shit kicked out of them, you sneak right past the guards and go in.
I honestly
That
like
is
that.
an even
That's
better idea.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we go inside though?
Did you
After
make it
they-
inside? Oh,
they-
yeah,
they,
you
they beat us
did.
up. We went inside.
No,
They tried to talk to us.
no. We did not make it past that pool.
No, we
What?
did. We did make it inside. We made it inside. We talked to them. They were trying to
Oh,
access
and
questions
that's when
corrupt
they
us.
gave you verse. That's when you gave them Versi, right?
Yeah, that's when Versi decided to.
Versi gave herself to them.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
Versi said that she would sacrifice herself while we were getting beat up, and during that time we walked in with all of us.
Fates twice.
We have not fighting the fates twice. We went once. We tried to fight the
You
guardians.
almost went back a couple times. Ah, yes, it's coming back to me now. You almost went back a couple
We went
times.
inside. They tried to corrupt us by asking us questions and getting us on the loom. We avoided that. So we would have to go in after we left.
As we were leaving.
As soon as we get past, as soon as we leave. Well, as soon as we leave, we have to come back and stop them before they, I guess, devour Ursi.
Hmm. All right. So then you go back there. You take care of that business. You replace the Fates. Don't tell anybody about it. Don't make a big announcement. No PR campaign.
Keep it on the
Then
DL.
Then you assume your
Then-
secret identities, and then you travel all of Thylea, the width, the breadth of Thylea. You enter every secret tournament that you wanted to enter, and then when the time is right, how will you?
How would we avoid the fates?
What do you
Not
mean?
the fates,
The Furies?
Furies.
So
What-
we said you have to land the final blow, so that it's
Mhm.
Thylea's will.
Okay.
We'll all just attack non-lethally until get one of them down.
So no magic.
Well, you can use
No
magic. Just
magic
don't.
when they're
Just
almost
don't.
dead.
Yeah, just
Well,
don't
I
max
mean-
damage it.
Well, no, I'm learning from my previous fuck ups.
If Maya
Well,
does
how-
that marking thing, then when she sacrifices it, isn't that Thylea's will? You know, when they burst into
That's
flames.
also
That's one way. of doing it.
Ooh, that's true. Yeah, I mean, technically, she is getting the final say on that.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow, that's pretty good. You should definitely mark the oldest one.
Yeah, the one with the eyeball.
Mm.
I mean, they're all sort of the same entity at the end of the day, but you'll figure it out. All right. So then you pay attention to the time, and right when Praxis is getting ready to fall, or Praxis is falling, you go to the Nether Seas, save Kiki, bring Kiki with you to the Battle of Mitros, lay low until Halcyon goes to burn out the spark, sends you guys forward in time, then you do the deed. And seize your timeline by the testicles and squeeze it tight.
That
In
last bit
a caring, consensual way that shows dominance over your timeline, of course.
Or not sagely.
Mm.
I don't see any issues
No.
with this plan. Let's
Yeah,
let's,
so-
let's send it.
good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. All right. After, of course, we finish the movies. So time does progress until the credits roll on the third movie. I'll be honest, you guys might. I don't know. You know what? This is a good in-game factspiration question. Andronicos, do you think they needed the third movie? Could they have just stopped with two?
Holy Maguire, though, isn't that no? That's the second movie, right?
Well,
No, third. Willie Maguire's the third.
Well, obviously they needed it then.
It was good, but it didn't need 3 villains.
Okay. Julian, you got a hot take on Sam Raimi's trilogy?
I mean, the first two were very good. The third one was a bit of a letdown.
Mm.
I mean, after seeing the first two films, I was quite excited to see the culmination of everything, but it just, I don't know, I felt like they could have done more with that very handsome fellow that kept cropping up throughout.
Mm.
Bruce Campbell.
Ah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Well, as a
Almost
plane,
enough
as a
movie.
planeswalker, he just his schedule he just wasn't available. And then Spider-Man's 4, 5, and 6 were canceled. And then they did a reboot. It was a whole thing. My favorite work that Bruce did is when he went to Steampunk Cowboy Land. That was some good times. No, anyways, Maya, what was your take?
I enjoyed them. I think the second was the most fun to watch out of all of them. But
Mm-hmm.
I did like seeing the actor playing Spider-Man try and be different when he was covered in the dark suit.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Some critics have compared it to, well, you know what? No more spoilers. All right. Let's head out. And so she grabs her briefcase, and she shouts, "Eugene, are my eye lines in here?" Uh-huh. Okay, yeah, we're good.
Oh, Oren, don't forget your tablet that's been charging.
Now that's friendship right there. Julian, I know I didn't play a major role in raising you, but you turned out okay.
Well, you taught me everything I know about magic. Well, majority of what I know about magic.
I mean, what I was allowed to teach you. There's still the forbidden magic. Anyways, all right, let's head out. Oren will be back soon. It's fine. While Oren's not here, let me tell you guys, don't let Oren find out that they're having the Tournament of Time right now while we're there. It's the ultimate fighting tournament that draws fighters from every single dimension and world. And in order to make it equitable, it's 3v3. Pathfinder 2e rules. Everyone has to have a 7th level build. Proceeds apparently go towards the extra life. Anyways, let's head out.
Orin, you hear flush. Orin walks out of the bathroom. Says, "All right, let's do this.
All
Isle of
right.
Time."
Island of Time. Nothing else going on there except taxes and becoming police.
Like, what about the thing that you?
She looks at you crossly. Hmm?
The thing that we're going there to do, obviously. That's.
Ah, yes.
Orin's loading up his crystal tablet. He's like, I lost my
Ooh,
daily streak.
hold on, we have to wait for your boat to leave. Just a sec. Poor Rosette. She's always there. I hope it was worth it. Okay. Let's see. Ah, all right. All right, so you guys step through the door, and you arrive at the pier of the Isle of Time. And she says, "I know I said I was going to shortcut us in, but Maya, with your pretty good perception, and Orin, with your pretty good perception, you guys notice that she does have on one of her lion legs a weird flashing anklet."
She's got a fucking mother. Oh my god. Does she wrap it in
Well-
tinfoil or?
No, she wears it proudly.
Oh my god. Fashion statement.
Okay, she walks by and she says, "Sees, hello." Sees looks away, like, "Ugh, this bitch." Lotus says, "Well, I did get unbanished, so that's something." As the Modrons approach, she says, "No solicitors." And she says, "You don't have to listen. You just hop over these things. It's fine." Many Modrons are reaching for their initiative dice. She says, "All right, let's go. Let's go." And you guys start heading down and up the stairs.
It's very important you go both down and up them.
It is. We found out the hard way.
All right, you guys come out of a portal into a realm of wonder and endless possibility. Pools of galaxies are caught like dew in spiderwebs in the intertwining branches of alien trees that reach out for, but are also repelled by, a massive churning structure of stone rings. At the center of 4 portals, and all of those rotating lights and stone rings, sits a single raven. And she says, all right, I just need to take care of some business. Don't get into any trouble. Don't fall in any of the pools. You don't want to end up in GURPS or something. And she throws her arms akimbo and she says, Timothy! And he says, what do you want? She says, Timothy, I have some papers here. And she starts pulling out papers from her briefcase. Timothy looks, Maya, Timothy is not pleased that she is here. You could tell with your incredible intuition.
All right.
You also could tell that the Lotus Witch is trying to cheat on her time taxes.
Oren, don't touch the pools.
Look, they've got.
I know
Look
you
what
might
they-
see combat in there.
Oren, on the other side, you can see people in giant robot mechs.
They look like the things that
God,
Julian
I love that rule system.
look like. Adam.
But everyone has their own Atom. And there's only combat. Outside of combat, they just say cool shit to each other and shout a lot. Then they get back at the robots.
Looks like Wednesday, June 31st, with Red Kobold Gaming, running Lancer. Sign up now.
Hashtag kind of sponsored? Question mark.
I was just reading the plaque here. He moves on.
The Raven motions to you guys with the wings, and she looks over at you. She shakes her head like you don't want any of that, and then she kind of like rustles papers in his face again. He does not look amused. Then she pulls something out of the briefcase, kind of shows it to him. He looks at it, intrigued. And then she pulls it away and puts it back in the bag. Oren and Maya, you think it's a book, but you're not sure what book it was. Maya, you can tell that she is doing the classic, maybe I don't want to do this. And she starts to walk away, and then the bird squawks, caws, waves its wings at her as she goes back. In the end, she hands him the unmarked book, and he stamps her paperwork with a big rubber stamp. And then she says, all right, we're done. This way. Careful. That Timothy's a shyster. Don't make any deals with him. Like, one time, he ruined the timeline of this other Odyssey of the Dragonlords campaign by giving their monk a belt that gave her a 22 strength score. You want to talk about making the monk class good. That's a start. All right, sit down.
Oren scratched his chin.
He disappears through the portal. Timothy sees you walking by, or he locks eyes with you, and he says, what can I do for you, friend?
Hold on. I just buffed my wisdom score. Alright. He says, sorry, got business to attend to.
Okay. You all are unsurprised as Sibo approaches Timothy the Raven.
Sibo, Sibo, with
Huh?
us, please.
Let's see what's life.
But,
Come along.
but,
Come along. No,
but-
no, come on. No, come on. Come on.
the Raven says, it's all right. You probably don't want to know who your real father is. All right.
He probably doesn't.
Julian, I'm assuming you're keeping up with SIBO. I'll move your mini over there.
Yes.
Andronicus, I noticed you're hanging back. Is that because you're making smooches with somebody off stream, or were you deliberately delaying so that you could talk to Timothy without the others nearby?
No, I just wanted to jump into a mech.
Oh my god.
You were fighting the urge to hop in? Okay. All right. Man, Timothy sees all of you go by and he says, dang. You're so damn heroic. Oh, well. And you guys head through the portal as well. Where are we at? Ah, stone table. There we go. All right, you guys appear at the stone table, where each of the platforms is above, below, and equal to the others, and they have staircases leading up and down, connecting them together while keeping them apart. Here you go. She says, God, are they just always playing fucking Scrabble? There's other games. All right. Look for Balatro. He's like very noble looking, and he's got like a kind of a weird chin beard thing going on, like blue eyeballs. Oh my
Oh
god.
god. Hold on and hit.
Eh.
Or he pulls everybody behind a pillar. Says, what are they doing here?
Okay, yeah. And these guys. So over here, yeah, Maya's like, okay, so we have to help Kartos. What are we helping Kartos with again? And Julian's like, I think we have to steal a robot. And Drunken's like, I like robots. And then you wait, and then they go off on their way.
Okay.
For that guy.
So over here, you see this guy is looking pretty rough. And he says, Master Carbon, we caught this SIBO snooping around. He was trying to add extra ease to the tournament bags. We think this is a bad SIBO from the bad timeline. Carbon turns to him and says, good work. And then his eyeball gem on the middle of his forehead glows, and you see this SIBO just turn into blue spaghetti. Nolan lets out a bleat of laughter because he hates that guy. All right.
Over here, you see a cameraman Porch getting put into handcuffs by by these guys.
He was filming on
Yeah.
different timelines.
Yeah, you don't want
yeah.
you don't want your cameraman to cease to exist. That'd be really bad. All right. Okay.
Is that him all the way at the end over there?
You guys do see landing on the stairs over here is Kartos, your buddy that caused you a lot of grief.
That son of a bitch.
You see when Kartos lands, he reaches in to his marsupial pouch and he produces the gremlin robot.
Hope that other universe was alright.
And
Wait,
then
if those just left to go get it and he has it right there. Time.
Yeah, Lotus says, don't think about it too hard. Yeah, I think that might be him over there. He likes to hide his name tag so that people don't bother him.
He has all his meetings scheduled for one day of the year.
All right, you ready for this, Julian? All of your bullshittery and tomfoolery and general fuck-uppetry is going to be put to the test.
That's fine.
Mm. Yeah. He flies down and says, Balatro, it's been a while. Angela, you look divine. And she says, do I? And she says, oh, yes. You, stunning. I am a lesbian furry for you all the time. Could you excuse us for a moment? We have some very serious business to attend to. Look, Kartos has the illegal robot. You should play with it while it's still available. And Angela says, "Oh!" And she rushes off to play with the illegal robot. They're so obsessed with that fucking robot. Balatro says, "Language, Lotus. We are the arbiters of time for this epoch and must set a good example. Your language skills are far too advanced to rely on such a crude word." She says, I'm not going to walk you through what a great word fuck is. You know how good it is. I can't believe you banned it in the God's greatest game. Anyways, this is my friend Julian. You might have heard of him. Ah, yes. Your apprentice from the Mythic timeline. Yes. He's an apt pupil, you might say, but not like the problematic book or movie. He's only listen. He's great. And Balatro says, I will be the judge of that. Perhaps we will get to know each other over a game of the most exalted Gabil."
If you'd like.
I'm curious if you play for honor or if you play for points.
I'd like to play for an opportunity for us to rectify some anomalies in our mythic timeline.
Yes, your timeline is riddled with anomalies. No doubt because of the 5 of you. Not to mention the secret 6th anomaly that fortunately you never stumbled upon.
What's that now?
Go on.
You were saying something about a 6th anomaly that we never stumbled across.
You were saying something about a lucrative opportunity.
Yes, as we are aware of all of our missteps and misdeeds, we feel that we are primely placed to correct them with the right authority, of course.
How bad could it be? That's when Lotus gives you a look like,
Well, there is just a small matter of one of Sidon's Titan children throwing us 888 years into the future.
That would be impossible unless he
Sacrificed herself to appease her father?
No, that is of no consequence to me or anyone.
Well, it irrevocably altered the timeline.
Are you saying this girl, Halcyon, burned out the stolen divine spark of time?
Yes. That's exactly what she did in order to throw us out of the timeline and to secure victory for her father.
That insolent brat. For, for all of the 30 seconds and 30,000 years that Ark has been stolen from us. I have lived with the shame and embarrassment of being the victim of such a bamboozlement. I forgave his insolence because at only 1,000 years he was but a small boy, inexperienced at being a god. He took the spark of time by mistake, I told myself. But now, hmm, who has made the mistake? Indeed. Uh, hmm, if this gets back to the Primus, I could end up a house cat again. Well, let me see. Lotus doesn't say anything. With your incredible insight, Maya, you understand that Lotus knows that anything Lotus says, they will act on the opposite of. And she's waiting for her opportunity to reverse psychology him.
Mm.
She says, well, it is what it is. I mean, it happens. Anyways, they were staying with me as house guest, and I had some paperwork, 'cause, you know, my taxes. Now that that's filed, they just were so excited to meet you, because I guess the last time they were here, they got sent to the, you know, on the robot thing, and he said, oh, yes, the robot thing. They love that. Excuse me. They love that robot, don't they? And she says, well, yes. Really? I just feel like we're putting grease on a fire at this point. We should just let it go. You know, there's nothing we can do about it. So, and he says, that's something you would say, isn't it? No, no, no. We're going to do something about it. She says, oh, are you sure? I mean, I wouldn't do something about it. I'd just let it go. He says, well, I'm not you. You there, Julian. You seem like a fine lad. And as an anomaly, you are uniquely qualified to help me resolve this issue. I do have to ask, what is your relationship with Sidon? Is he a friend of yours?
We're not on particularly good terms. I'm more interested in correcting the situation. And if I can stop her from breaking time and possibly return the spark to where it rightfully belongs, I'm all for that.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, here's the thing. Time is too powerful, even for the gods. And I would like this fragment of the spark of time to be returned. When its spark is burnt out, its user is often destroyed, and then the spark is set loose back into the world. Anyone could wind up with it. It's the whole thing.
Mm.
Additionally, it attracts the time cops, which we are on very good terms with. But there is one time cop in particular who is obsessed with this particular epoch. I speak, of course, of Kabira Nasir. I don't want her to find out that this has happened, though she already has. But we can make sure she doesn't. Get me?
I believe I follow along your train of thought. How
Hmm.
can we assist you?
I'm going to fashion for you a weapon, forged from time itself. You're going to use it to kill Halcyon, right as she's burning out the spark. It will send you and your allies forward in time, as was preordained and necessary for us to have this conversation. However, before she can complete the act, you will slay her. The time shard will send the spark of time back to us, and your timeline will be freed from time anomalies forevermore. To keep, well, To keep Kapur Nasir off your back, we will deputize you as local time deputies of this particular epoch. It is important, however, that you complete your mission in a timely fashion. Please don't take over a century to do so.
I assure you, we will not take over a century.
Well, if that's the case, you're more familiar with that timeline than I am. I honestly am more of a Prime fan, but there's a couple of people around here, I think. Lotus doesn't, what's his name? Gottfried, he's a big fan of that timeline, isn't he? She's maybe the only one in existence. So, yes, it's a little dry. It kind of runs along. It reminds me of the first animation attempt for One Piece. And she said, "Oh, it's not that bad." He says, "It's pretty. Well, anyways, it could do with some trimming down." Uh, you know the timeline better than I do, Julian. You tell me the time and place that I should send you and your allies back, and I will do so. You take the shard of time, and then you will catch back up with yourself. Do not look yourself in the eyes, or the whole mission will be jeopardized. And then you will plunge the shard of time into her heart.
Well, we certainly appreciate your assistance. I mean, I don't want to put you out. Is there some means where we might be able to drive the ship ourselves, as it were? Again, it's just a matter of finessing the timeline. So we just want to make sure we arrive at the correct time and place.
Oh
And
no, it's quite simple. You here, he tears a page out of the scorebook, and he says, "Yeah, just write down, like a general time of day, date, location, and I'll just send you there."
right, okay. If you'll just give me but a moment,
Of course, of course.
I just need to grab our mythic SIBO, since there appears to be several SIBOs, and make sure that we have the correct date and time written down for you to send this to.
Of course. I'll go fetch the shard of time.
Perfect.
Gonicus, look over there. It looks like they're setting up some sort of coliseum.
Oh yeah, Orin, when you look
No,
off
that's
when
Prais.
you look off into the distance, you see the fucking intro to Smash Bros.
Look at that. That guy's covered in metal.
While they're gawking at this, Julian will turn to Lotus and say, "Do we really have to go with them as far as doing the whole Colosseum tour business? I'd really rather."
You
That's
can take them.
It's prime time I can be using to study or to make magical things. It just constantly fighting is so. Actually, you get
Oh my
and one
gosh.
too many blood stains. It won't come out.
Orin, you see like all the different floating stadiums and arenas are being set up. Like there's shit you've never even dreamed of over there. It's crazy. There's even a guy inside one of those robot suits, like from the portal you just saw. Like,
Gonicus, look at that.
mm-hmm. Yeah, Lotus kind of moves over next to the two of you. She says, "Oh, looks like they're using the revised Starfinder rules to allow Starfinder characters to fight against Pathfinder characters. That'll allow you to make literally any combination of characters you want."
Wait, is
Ah,
that?
you don't have time for that, Orin. Well, I mean, technically, you have all the time you could ever want.
Hmm.
No. Orin, you wouldn't be interested. The prize is, it's not even measurable. It's just the title of the greatest ever.
Yeah, he just frowns. He says, need to restore timeline, save everyone we failed."
Right. Yeah. You definitely don't want to compete in the greatest competition ever held in any multiverse and earn the title of the greatest.
Well,
I mean,
you might have a point there. I don't know.
well, Orin,
No, yeah.
you can always come back here after everything is done because it will still be happening because that's how time works on this island.
That's a strong argument.
And you won't have to worry about anything else that's going on. You can focus wholeheartedly on the tournament.
Yeah. It's more important to protect Thylea.
Mm.
He
Who
pats
knows? You might have upgrade. You might have an upgraded cart by that time too.
He pats the Zephos at his side. Says, someday, sometime.
All right. Well, oh, here it comes.
Julian would have taken the opportunity for Sibo to use his keen mind to write down when and where we need to return to for the deal with the fates.
Okay,
Same
using
verse,
his yeah, good idea. Yeah. All right. Let's see. All right. He produces for you a glowing green crystal shard. And he says, here's the time shard. You use this. Plunge it into her heart when she is near death. And it will drain from her the spark of time before she can release it. And also end her life. Well, it will actually unravel her from existence, which could be beneficial since she, as a god, might come back and give you trouble later.
Solid point. Now, this would just remove her from existence from that point forward if there's no retroactive effect.
A retroactive effect.
Yes, like removing her from all places in time.
Oh, no. You need
That's a
her to
shame.
exist because that would then inspire you to do this, which also you would need her to exist to send you forward in time. You never really want to erase anyone from time.
Fair enough. It's just a traveling companion of ours was slain by her. It was just wishful thinking.
Yes. See, that sort of thinking is why no one should have the ability to mess with time.
You're quite right.
What seems like the right idea, what seems like a good idea, it often just leads to more trouble. You have no idea how many dystopian realities exist because someone had the bright idea to change an event or go back and fix something. Ugh, it's tiresome.
An understandable frustration.
And an
Which is part.
understandable weakness of creatures who are bound by time and do not understand it.
Well, I mean, we have a limited understanding of time. For us, it's linear in one way. Creatures such as yourselves, I mean, you have a far greater understanding, and if I tip my hat, I would if I wore one, to your ability to comprehend.
Well, what is interesting about this particular situation is because it has to do with a time shard and the recovery of the spark of time, is there are not infinite opportunities to do this. If you fail, You fail in every timeline.
Oh. Well, in that case, we shall not.
I like that confidence. Maya, with your incredible insight, you understand that he is so good at keeping spoilers that he is not going to give any hints at all whether you guys succeed or not, even though he does know.
Okay.
All right, I will add the time shard to your sheet, Julian.
Cool.
It's like a little plastic shard that says Deputy Time Cop on it.
I know Julian's over encumbered now.
Time is heavy.
Yeah.
All right, and then speaking of time, I will take us back to the dashboard. Let's see. I guess we'll go to this dashboard because we don't really know where we're at in the timeline anymore.
Hard to say.
All right, good stuff.
Why is this shipwreck on the map down here? It's a little sus.
Yeah, that's weird. Could be anything. Could
Mm.
be something that was very important to future you, but maybe you'll never need to know. Why is Praxis still on the map? What happened here? Maybe we'll never find out.
Hard to say.
All right. So, good stuff. We will not be playing next week. We will be playing the week after that, and then God only knows. God only knows. Yep. We'll just keep playing until we're done.
Till we're dead.
There's nothing else to it. Yeah. Anybody have any announcements?
Not for me.
Here.
Dang. I forgot how creepy this dashboard is. Spooks. Give me some
Nice
spooks.
vibes.
Yeah.
The stars are nice.
All right. Then we will adjourn and we'll pick this up in 2 weeks. And then because we're down to 4 players, and we're in the end game content, and it's all going to be pretty heavy shit, we should probably try to have all 4 of you here when we play. And I know that the rest of the summer is going to be kind of nuts for everybody, but we'll try to make it happen. Also, the next time we play, we will be on shoot. Will we be on
12.
We'll be on Foundry 12? Let me see.
I think so. I think that's what you said.
No, because we're not playing on the 4th either.
We're not?
I don't think so. Are we?
I mean, I'm not going to be out of the country at that point.
Andronicos is in Gen
I'll be
Con.
in Con.
Oh.
So
But
no next week.
I should
no week
probably
after
be
that.
able to do that evening though.
We might. play on the
Okay.
18th.
All right, then we might play on the 4th. Okay.
Yeah, I just definitely can't do the morning game on the 4th.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'll change it to maybe. No, you know what? Let's just say we're gonna do it. There you go. So we'll have Mythic Odyssey on the 4th. Hell yeah. On Foundry 12, and then you saying that we're a maybe on the 18th.
Yeah, most likely I will be there on the 18th.
Oh, okay. Oh, things are looking up now. Okay. All right.
But I if there's anything comes up, I'll let you guys know a week in advance.
Okay, sounds good. Well then, dang, I feel a lot better about this. And then, Julian, are you gonna drop a maybe on us too on the 25th? No, you're actually gonna be in another country. Never mind. Okay.
We'll actually be in another country.
All right, fair
Come on,
enough.
just play at 2 a.m. What's the problem there?
Listen, I'm already going to be fucked up from jet lag as it is. I'm not going to compound it. I'm sorry.
All right, fair enough. All right, we're gonna make it work. All right, well, for anybody that's doing some traveling this week, I hope you have safe travels. And then we will pick this up 2 weeks from now.
All right.
All
sounds
right.
good.
Night, everybody.
Yep. Thanks for running.
Thanks again.
Thanks everyone for watching. See you again in 2 weeks.